And boom, hey, what do you know? This thing actually boots up quicker than it has the last 4 times I try and do it. Or maybe it's because I'm doing it sober. I don't know. All right, we're live on YouTube, everybody. Say hello, motherfuckers.
Yo. How is everybody?
Just fine and dandy. Of course we get a dislike automatically.
Ah, it
Which
happens,
one
you know.
did it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Money!
You talking to me?
You're
Why'd
going to
you
see a
just
lot
look
of
up at you?
dislikes in the...
All
Yeah,
I see,
apparently.
all I see is
You,
the StreamYard. I don't see anything else.
Okay, no worries. Introduce yourself, Mandy.
yeah.
Hi, Mandy. I mean, what else?
Nice. Simple and to the point. All right.
Yeah.
Scoop, you want to
Yo,
do your usual
Divinity.
introduction?
I'm just going to... Like, what's up? Do I...
You want to do your introduction,
Got-
Scoop, or Divinity? You want to go first? Which one do you
Sure.
got?
I'm the first and the last.
Fair enough. All right. I'll give mine. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Scooby331. I'm from New York, if you didn't pick that up really quick. I'm a Trump supporter. For those of you that do know me, you know that I've probably pissed off about 90% of the people who are going to be tuning into this later. Just not intentionally. It's just apparently they're Fabergé eggs or some shit. And for those of you who do think you know me and are those Fabergé eggs, to you I say fuck you hard. And there we go. That's my intro.
Well, also your Yorkie accent.
Yeah. The accent. That's what they dislike. They all think I'm faking this accent. Do you know how much I wish I could not talk with this stupid fucking accent?
I like
He
it.
wants to trade.
Thank you.
Hey, it's all right. At least
I
you
actually
always
like
sound
I like the way you...
You always sound like you make the best hot dog.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah. That would be Burnside. He's the Chicagoan.
Oh, yeah.
We actually had a conversation about that last week. We were talking about hot dogs, who makes the better one. Apparently, it's different over there. They put shit on hot dogs I would never dream of. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
Black things with flavor.
Yeah.
They
Like all sorts of wild shit. What's that one thing that Tim Pool was going on about because he's from Chicago? And I called you up and I was asking you, and I couldn't remember, and it was because because of my accent, I was mispronouncing it. And what is it? It's the shit that they put on
Jardinara?
antipas. The Gardenia, Garnera,
Jardinara.
Jardinara. That's it. The Jardinara.
Yeah.
They put
It's
that on
spicy
hot
stuff.
dogs.
Oh,
Yeah, I would never have
Yeah,
thought to put that on a hot
yeah.
dog.
Oh, yeah, we put all sorts of crazy shit on hot dogs. Like,
Of course they do. It's a hot dog. There's not much to it unless you put something on it.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's usually our
Like, break it down for them really quick, Burnside. What's a standard Chicago hot dog?
Okay, we got your standard, and we got north, and we got south. Now, your standard hot dog will have, first, has to be beef. Has to be all beef. If it's anything cheap, you're getting a shit hot dog, and don't buy it. 2, to get a regular Chicago-style hot dog, it's got to be on a sesame seed bun. It's got to be at least steamed to some capacity. 3, you're going to add, since this is a normal one, they either ask you if you want ketchup or mustard, or they'll just go, and they'll put both on there, and then they'll throw on relish. And if they want to be fancy, they'll toss on some celery salt. But you put that on before you apply the ketchup, the mustard, and the relish. And that's your average Chicago hot dog.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
In
And if you
Florida,
want
we
it
just
nice-
fry
What
it.
we do here in New York, we do it a little bit different. You fry it in Florida?
Oh yeah, we fry it in
That's
grease, and then we put sauerkraut, ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, chili, and cheese on it.
And don't forget,
Oh God.
That
don't
sounds
forget
pretty
your
good.
local Florida map.
Oh, I love
See,
chili
the
cheese
way we-
dogs, man. Holy shit.
The way we do it up in New York, we call them dirty water dogs. And what they do is the trick. We actually had a hot dog stand at one point. And what the old man used to do, his trick was instead of just putting them in straight water, he would add beer. And he'd also throw in a few pearl onions and a couple of cloves of garlic into when it was boiling in the beer. So, yeah. So the trick is for a New York dog is first you got to drown it in the brown mustard, and then you hit it with the sauerkraut. Then you put the caramelized onions on top of that. Then you put on the relish on top of that, the green relish, and then usually let me see, on top of that they put the shredded onions because you already got the caramelized onions. Then they put the shredded onions, so you got two types of onions on there. Then they hit it with chili, and then they hit it with cheese. And if you want the crybaby, they'll put jalapenos in the chili and cheese on top of the dog. The other thing I've seen is sometimes they'll put the onions again on top of it too. So you'll get these guys, they got like 3 layers of onions on these dogs. So that's a standard New York dog.
Well, just switch it out with
Yeah,
garlic. Be safe from vamps for a month.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. My father, may he rest in peace, when he used to drive on the truck, he was constantly getting the hot dogs. That's the reason that he wound up getting a hot dog truck eventually.
Well, hey, man.
No,
We had a lot of shit we were doing. We had the hot
Plus-
dog truck and we were doing the crab fishing at the same time, so we had a full boat.
You love the meat.
Yeah.
Hey, at least
So-
New York upgraded. At least New York upgraded its hot dogs over the originally 7% rat.
Yeah.
Now it's
Well,
only
we get
3.
ours. If you come to New York, the two types of dogs you're gonna get is you're gonna get Nathan's up over in Coney Island, and they got the Nathan's places all over the place. You're not gonna get Nathan's at a hot dog stand though. A lot of people don't realize that. What you get at a hot dog stand are called sabarette.
All right.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that last part.
Continue.
Who? What? Why did I stop?
Continue.
It's the Bretts. That
Oh, you started.
what am I
lagging there,
roboting
too.
again? And
Yeah.
this goddamn computer.
That's what happens when you piss off Skynet.
I'm probably gonna have. Yeah, seriously. You know what? I'm gonna try something here. Let me hop out and back in. All right. So give me 1 second.
All right. Okay. Cool.
Bear
All right,
with
while
me.
you're doing that, I'll go into the story that I wanted to tell.
I've got to still introduce
Beautiful.
myself. You got to still introduce yourself.
Oh yeah, that's right. You didn't introduce yourself. All right. Yeah. By all
Cool.
means, let me pop that back up.
Cool.
Introduce thyself.
Creator of reality, forger of creation, and overall, Big Daddy Sir Smites a lot.
I like
Nice.
that. You should make that your name. Big Daddy Sir
Big Daddy
Smites a lot.
Smite a lot. Hell yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, of
That
course,
is awesome.
that's
That
the
is
thing.
awesome.
You've all been so intrinsically affected by the concept of using God in your words that you even say it unconsciously.
Oh yes. Oh hell. Anyways, well, Scoop's getting himself situated, and since now we all have introduced ourselves, we're gonna get into the first topic here, and this is actually gonna be a bit of a funny story. So, for once, I finally actually had a couple days off from work. So what I wound up doing is I went all the way out into the middle of absolute nowhere, Indiana, to where I practically had no single
Half of Indiana.
Say what?
So half of Indiana.
Bumfuck Egypt.
Technically, yes. I had to think about that for a moment. North of Indianapolis? Yeah, half of Indiana. So I went to one half of Indiana. And I met my buddy up there. I call him the Apocalypse Merchant because when all this crazy crap went down, him and I were literally trading bullets for stuff. Absolutely hysterical.
Good. It's well, that actually reminds me of quite the fun game. Do you know the name?
I think I do.
Can you guess?
Russian
yeah.
roulette.
I think you're thinking of Metro.
Good man. Good, you know this pretty quickly.
Yes. And speaking of Metro, that is the exact premier weapon that I'm going to be talking about, because that is what I shot at the range. Because, now, this one that I'm bringing up here is not the actual one, but it's the prop weapon. Because, since I am filming from Chicago, I do not want to get a felony.
Yet.
Yeah.
Only after the boogaloo goes off.
Yeah, only when the boogaloo goes. Yeah. So, for those of you who are not familiar, this is the prop Kalashnikov that we use for backline. And I got to shoot a real one. So, yeah. I went to the range with my buddy, the Apocalypse Merchant. And funny thing is, we're bullshitting there about music and stuff in between, you know. I'm shooting the Kalashnikov. He's shooting an Israeli Uzi, and it's 22. And we start talking about politics, music, and that. And then next thing you know, I'm going chicken hunting, clack, clack, pow, pow. Going chicken hunting. I'm like, wait a minute. You listen to ICP? No, this guy's old as hell. He's pushing 50. He's like, Argh! NRA hat and everything, you know, cigar hanging out of his fucking mouth and everything. He's like, I listen to ICP, they're all right. And I'm like, really now? So quite literally, we're the two Trump supporting juggalos at the range.
Juggalos. Just
oh,
wait.
yeah.
Wait.
That's funny, too, because you'd never expect him out of all people, because he's old and, you know, he doesn't reek of I'm from Indiana in the trailer park.
Anymore.
Yeah, anymore as far as I know. He might have before, but definitely not now.
It takes a few showers.
Or he's able to hide it really well.
Oh, you might be able to, yeah. Which is it's funny as hell, because it's like, we're basically two literal clowns at the gun range. Absolutely hysterical.
Well, a clown and a half.
Ah, yeah.
Remember, he lost the accent.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So, speaking of which, of Kalashnikovs and such, I am actually going to go over some ammunition. Just because this is a fun little thing I found out from taking a couple hits from the Apocalypse Merchant. Now, the first one I grabbed here, we made the Metro reference, this is a steel 7.62 by 39 AK-47. If you are going to the range, do not use these. Reason why is 1, a bit more expensive, 2, they are not reloadable, and 3, because of the quality of most of these steel-cased bullets, you're going to want to save these for home defense, because basically when it comes to Kalashnikovs, these are your home defense bullets. You know, even though they're not like self-defense, hollow points, and all that fancy stuff they have for handguns, this is basically the rifle equivalent.
Well, honestly speaking, most at least medium caliber rifles are going to kill whatever the heck you pointed at.
Oh, yeah, they really are. Now,
Honestly speaking, at the time, it's overkill.
Oh, it's definitely over. Yeah, the steel one, yeah, that's definitely overkill. This is one of the most perfect bullets you can use for the range. It's a regular brass bullet, and it's just simple and nothing too fancy. And the fun thing is, if you got your regular reload bench and all that good shit together, you can actually reload this sucker. So this is the prime stuff you want to use. Now, the next one, I honestly thought this was target ammunition, too, because it's just about the same until I handed over to him and he took a look at it. Oh, Serbians, eh? I went, yeah, Serbians.
Shit, Serbians.
Yeah, the Serbians, which is this one here, which it is a little difficult to tell, but...
They can remove kebab, which is all right with me.
Now, if you can tell, there's a little bit of a lead tip. Now, the reason it's got that soft lead tip there is because this is technically hunting ammunition. You can still use it for target practice, but little known thing. Basically, if you're in certain parts of Illinois and Indiana, you can use this to get your Bambi.
Oh, good. You'll put that Bambi on ice.
Oh, yeah. And the best part is because it is hunting ammunition, and if you can get a regular long rifle like a Mini 14 that fires 7.62 by 39, it's legal. It's not an assault weapon.
Until they decide to pull another iffy and decide to try to reclassify things again. We all know it's coming.
Oh, I'm sure they will at some point in time.
Unless the actual libertarians gain to power, which we all know would never happen.
Yeah.
They can never agree.
Regrettably, this is true. The anarchists have the same problem, but nowadays they're rioting, so no one really.
Even look at BioShock, for Pete's sake. Look how that turned out.
Yeah.
They couldn't agree. Someone wanted power. They tried to take it. What do you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good
so
game series, though.
I
Oh,
was
it's
about to say,
great.
are you talking about the game series? I have all of them. I beat all of them.
That's good.
Oh,
Did you know the plot all revolves around simply producing the events of BioShock 2? The entire cycle results in just producing the events of BioShock 2. It's the only one that has its lockdown end.
I did not know that.
Because think about it. BioShock Infinite sets in motion the events of BioShock 1. And BioShock 1 sets in motion some of the events of BioShock Infinite. But neither of them affect the events of BioShock 2. BioShock 2 leads to a dead end. It is the final set of events. And you want to know what that event is?
Do tell.
It's the incarnation of what is called the Demiurge.
Ooh.
Basically, you know that glowing mass that's behind the city, making it glow?
Yeah, I never really paid attention to that.
That's called the Demiurge. That's where Adam comes from.
Ah.
Yes, the slimes take it and refine it. It becomes Adam.
Well, I really should have played through the whole rest of the game instead of just renting it for a day or two.
But basically, the Demiurge in Gnosticism is the god that created the world, the lower god, not the higher god which created the universe.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to
And the
finish that.
Demiurge was then cast into the sea and became the luminescent biomass.
Ah. Interesting.
And with the final ending of BioShock 2 being the incarnation of the daughter that your character's dealing with. She has claimed the atom of every single person within Rapture.
Mm-hmm.
Their memories, their knowledge, all of it. And the power behind it. As such, she has become their culmination and claimed all that atom. She has become the incarnation of the Demiurge.
Sounds like some Final Fantasy shit there.
Well, except unlike Final Fantasy, you don't get to kill God.
Right. Because they do that on a few occasions.
A few! Like half of them.
Yeah, I know. I
So
love being
real
a
quick,
dick.
Burnside.
Yeah, what's up?
I'm sitting here noticing the comments on the live on YouTube.
Yeah, we've got
They're
one guy in particular.
talking about Belle. If I were you, new girl, just run. This might be my first time on your podcast, but it's not my first time talking to y'all. Pretty sure I can handle myself.
Oh yeah. These are the sodomites and the termites in here. We've got a literal anti-fan base of them that don't work live in their parents' basements and want to try and socially pressure and do other communist-like things to try and get people to not associate with us because
Careful.
So
only
them are
fan
just-
Jack.
some
so
of them are just
basically they're the kind of
shitposters
people-
who don't mean anything they say.
See, I kind of take a little bit of offense, but a little bit I take appreciation to the post where I look like a boy.
hmm
But I mean, from what I can tell, it seems like you got some people that seem like the type of people who live in their mother's basement, can't get a
Yeah.
girlfriend, stuck
Hey,
watching porn.
Careful there.
And-
You're feeding into them. All right, and this is one of the reasons why I don't answer prayers much nowadays.
Oh, that's what it is. But
When was the last time you actually got one of my prayers one of your prayers answered?
The last time I prayed, which was when I was 10.
technically today,
16 years
because I
ago.
finally got to go to range.
Yeah, but did it turn out exactly as you expected?
Actually, it was better. I didn't know what to expect. I
Wasn't
literally got a card.
exact. You didn't get the wish you wanted.
Ah, technicality. I did want to show off a couple things that I found at the range because the one cool thing was there's fuck tons of brass and shell casings all over the place, and I actually found a sibling shell casing. And the funny thing is, this one is a military round.
Well, with the brass, if you manage to get the stuff together, you can separate it back into separate its copper, and copper's worth quite a bit.
Oh yeah, there were a couple copper-coated rounds, but they were shit shots, so we didn't really grab those.
No, I
Now
meant
this-
for the brass. You can separate the copper from it.
Oh, memes, there you are, you Hebrew son of a bitch. All right, hey, I'm gonna give you a link in a few minutes here. Jordan, good to see you, man. I'm going over some bullets and gun safety. This one here is a 7.62 by 51, and the funny thing is, if you look carefully here, you see it's steel just like the Tula, and it's got one hell of a primer. That's a bit of a pain in the ass because of all the reflecting and stuff, because I've got the light right here, and this is a nice looking bullet.
You
But
want LEDs.
Basically, both of these are sibling bullets. This is the smaller one, the 7.62, and this is the bigger one. So at least I wasn't the only person that was firing military weapons. Kind of cool. Hey, they really don't give a shit about this, as long as you're not, using glow in the dark ammunition
Or shooting each other.
or shoot. Yeah. Oh no, they were strict as hell about that. Like literally, if a guy is like setting down his rifle and he's like trying to motion to you, stop shooting, because that means he wants to go and check his target. And when that person or multiple people are doing that, what you got to do is just set your weapon down, empty the magazine out of it, make sure you don't have any bullets, take a few steps back past the line. Like in the case of in Indiana, is basically you just go on the concrete and wait a few minutes, and then once them and everyone else is done checking their targets, then everyone just locks and loads and starts shooting again, and they just sound off before they start shooting.
Yeah. You
Yeah, it's
think
one
the guns
thing.
you got now are fun? Just wait.
Oh boy, I'm getting plenty more. All in due time.
Not exactly what I meant, but all right.
But yeah.
Technology's advancing. Just waiting for the railguns.
Oh yeah. Oh, speaking of references to railguns, when we get into our third segment here, I actually have a railgun of sorts that's related to a certain stuff that we're going to be promoting. But the last bit on about the Trumpallos story that I wanted to say is, make sure that you pick up your brass when you're done at the shooting range, and always treat your weapon as if it is loaded, and don't point it at anyone else, because
That's just
Ammo is
common
scarce.
sense.
you would think. And speaking of which, definitely keep your brass on hand, because there's guys that are paying good money to reload, and ammo is scarce. Of course, you got a Kalashnikov, and there's like several different types of ammunition you can get.
Well, of course.
Kalashnikov. The one fun thing I learned is how to properly actually use the sight on this. Now, this is the prop gun, so I can't actually adjust it, but it turns out that basically your adjustable sight on your standard Kalashnikov goes in meters. So it's basically every number on there is up 100 meters, except for P. That's prone. So if you're going at about 100 yards, just set it to 1. Don't put it into prone unless you're literally going to sit there and then, adjust, so you know where you're shooting. And don't bother putting it to 2 because even though it is off, because these are in metric and we're going by feet because we're Americans, it is what it is. You give and take.
Also, let's see, we go here.
All right, so
just don't give in to Mr. Help these conversations and stuff. He's just trying to get your attention.
Oh, not worrying about the trolls.
Good.
Oh.
Progress.
Yeah, of course, my friend. Yes, liberal.
Good.
Nice. I like how you do that and it shows off your Trump shirt, Mandy.
You just you're lifting up her shirt. Don't even deny it.
Well,
I mean, I could show you my phone that my background is. I think it'd piss the trolls off more.
Probably. I'm sure there's a bunch of Bernie boys.
Not anymore. Not anymore. Remember, he ain't getting elected. Because remember, the party cheats.
Nice.
He wouldn't have been the worst, but honestly, he wouldn't have been what we wanted. 2016 would have been better, Bernie, but still a big fat no.
Oh well.
At least
Maybe
his IQ was slightly higher then.
I mean, I could show that.
Yeah, America.
And my background is I support the thin blue lines.
If anything, what I love about America is the fact that I'm looking northward to Canada, and I'm thinking to myself, the U.S. could always use a few more states.
Oh, we always could. We could definitely use more states. I'm all for making
But the
Cuba
question is,
50%.
but the question is can if we end up getting new states, could they handle the states that are already here and the bullshit going on?
It's all right. It's all right. Some of the states are getting a bit wonky. Just stress them out enough, and don't worry, they'll turn red again. Remember, California used to be hardcore red.
Yeah, it did.
Right before Mr. Clinton.
Oh, speaking of stuff like that, Daryl, hit me up on Discord DMs. I do believe I did send you an invite. And I was thinking of red states going blue states and blue states going red and so on and so forth. That brings us into the next topic, ironically enough. Does anyone know the story of the French queen whore Marie Antoinette?
Yup.
All right. Good. I got other people who know their history. The reason why I ask is because there's a famous quote that Marie Antoinette said that my mayor decided that she was just going to butcher. Marie Antoinette was basically just minding her own business, spending French tax dollars like they're going out of style, drinking wine and eating cheese and doing all the the surrender to Germany shit that the French do all the time.
No, they didn't. They didn't surrender when Napoleon was running them.
That was true.
Remember, the French can be good fighters. You just have to find them someone who's not French to lead them.
That's true, because the island where Napoleon was from was technically not French.
No, it was at the time when he was born, but it was originally Italian.
Yep.
His mother was Italian, but became French because the French are French, and they decided, you know what, you're French now.
Pretty much. So basically, if you don't know the story... Say what?
It was free real estate.
Oh, yeah, free real estate. That's basically what they got. I mean, hey, take it while you have it. Yeah. Hell, comically enough, combining the two of those, because that does actually lead into the topic, Marie Antoinette, when approached by the angry mob of people that wanted to split her intestines apart into many itty bitty bits, her servants, and then that were basically talking to the angry mob. Basically, were like, "Well, she wants you guys to fuck off and continue paying your taxes. She doesn't want to. She doesn't want to do with anything with you people." So the angry mob went back to the leaders, and she said, "The bitch basically told us to eat cake and die." So they killed her and overthrew her.
Well,
and
she didn't say that. In fact, it was a fake quote, but yeah.
Yeah, that's basically how it went. Like, basically, they're trying to arrange a meeting with her and that, and she's just like, "Yeah, go away. I can freaking say wine and eating the cheese and burning your tax dollars." And her guard were like, "She doesn't want to talk, but we know we need to say something, so, And the angry mob was like, "You tell us to eat cake. Fuck you." So basically, in Chicago, what's happened along the lines of that is we've had our series of George Floyd and Boys riots, and within the last two that have happened, the first one being over Memorial Day weekend, which is George Floyd riots, and the ones that happened last week and the week before that, more or less, were the reparation riots. Such had happened pretty much in the same area, except it was more contained, around downtown Loop, on the north side where the sodomites are and all that. But what happened is when the George Floyd riots kicked off, the mayor, Chicago's Mandi, decided, "I'm going to hide behind 200 cops," and nobody showed. Now, when the last reparations riot happened and the little protest that followed with it, depending on whom you asked, they were like, "Let's take it to the mayor." And Murray de Chicago was like, "You can eat cake as your reparations and die." And she hid again behind the cops, even though she talks shit about them all the time. She does not. She only likes the blue line when it can keep her from her hungry, angry peasant.
Well, of course. We all know she's a corrupt politician.
Oh, absolutely.
It's an unfortunate
There we
thing.
go.
You can have good Democrats, but their time has passed. It'll be a few more decades before they grow a decent pair.
Oh, yes.
So how's the new camera and microphone working?
Hey, sounds great, man.
Oh, cool.
You're not sounding like a robot.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can hear the crickets outside. Hey, at least it's not gunshots, man.
So
Yeah,
he's finally appeased Skynet by upgrading his technology.
Yeah, literally. I had to sit here and wait for everything to update because I haven't. This is the computer that Tara and Burnside brought here for me. This was originally Burnside's. Then it became Tara's, and now it's mine. It's gone through all of our hands. And so I haven't opened it in a minute because it's a bit clunky. I got an external fan that's underneath it. It needs an external hard drive. All the peripherals, because it's older, are all attached. So it's obtuse, cumbersome, for lack of better words. And I really can't move the thing around too much. The old jalopy piece of shit I have that's on its last leg is like this big, and it's a small little thing. It weighs 2 pounds. I walk around talking to Burnside on it like I'm on the phone. So I've just been lazy and hesitant to open this thing, and I'm kind of glad that the other one crashed because this is a lot better. Seriously, thank you for this again, Burnside. I know I thank you every time I use it, but this is going to be a lot. This is going to be very helpful and beneficial. So,
Oh, not a problem, man.
So while I was sidelined by Bill Gates, what I missed?
I went over. I went over the story of the shooting range. I showed off a couple of bullets in that. I got some 300 Winchester here. Gonna make a good penny reload that. And I actually did forget to show off the bullets that I found. These were unfired bullets. Glad you popped back on. I have no idea what caliber this is, but I've got 2 of these.
Hold it a little closer to the thing.
With your bright ass lights.
Well,
That looks like
fired.
That looks like 44 mag, maybe, or 45. I don't know. I don't know.
Not 45. I found a couple 45s. I've got spent shell cases in the bag, and I found two 22s. Apparently, the cool thing is, if by chance you have a weapon jam and you eject your bullet and you leave it there, someone else can keep it.
Cool.
So yeah, I had all sorts of fun with that. I showed off the different Kalashnikov bullets that I have, and that gave people a couple fun things. Turns out my buddy the Apocalypse Merchant is not only a card-carrying NRA and Trump supporter, but he's also a juggalo too. So this is a funny
Nice.
story. Yeah, you really got two clowns at a gun range. Both of them firing stereotypical weapons. I've got. Well, you know what the actual one looks like, but I don't want to get a felony yet. I'm sitting here with one of these fucking things, just. You say I got to shot it to one for the 1,000 yards, right? Yeah, that's fun. Pop.
Oh, and you're using a Kalashnikov. You have to pull off your cheapest Russian accent.
Lit.
In my country, we get that rifle for 2 sheep, 1 goat, and maybe a daughter, depending. If you want the bayonet, you have to throw in a son.
Yes, done for bayonet. And it's actually convenient that this popped off. It happens half the time now.
What about if I want the extended magazine?
You give vodka bottle.
What about 2 vodka bottles for all of it?
Maybe. Me must ask wife.
You know, we're going to have to take snips of this and send it to Loki to fuck with him.
Oh, fuck yeah. And the other fun thing is I actually taught people how to properly use this adjustable sight. Now, this is one off the prop rifle, but because the Apocalypse Merchant, he's basically got one of those legal
Is that
DLA
a tang sight? Is that a tang?
No, it's just a regular adjustable sight, but because it's from the prop gun, it does not actually adjust. But I was...
Oh, no. I didn't realize what type it was. That's the one that goes in the middle of the gun, right?
No, it goes on the end. It's here. Let me snap this sucker back together. So I wanted to get that part off because I wanted to show people and you as well, as even though we're basically recapping it. Because, yeah, that's the sight that goes right here.
Yeah. If over on the butt of the gun is where there would be a third sight called a tang that lines up with the other 2 sights. It's for really long range shots. You're not going to usually find it on. Yeah, newer rifles don't usually have it. I think that they phased them out with like, you know, the Springfields and the Moisen Nagats. Once you got into where you were using telescopic sights, it's for if you're using iron sights. It's a peep sight that's on the butt of the rifle that flips up and it lines up with that sight, and then in turn lines up with the crosshairs up at the front of the barrel.
Oi, Mandi, you get involved. You're not supposed to just stand there and look pretty.
I don't know. I don't know much about.
You already did that, and you ended up with 2 kids. Speak.
Oh fuck!
That burned.
I really don't know too much about guns either. I've only been educating myself since I've been on here.
I'm actually listening to y'all.
It's all good.
Problem is, you're not speaking.
It's all good. Don't worry. Well, you'll dive into the conversation when it suits you. We just like hearing from you. You got a beautiful speaking voice. You know, the 3 of us are butchering the English language, but then when you speak, it sounds much nicer. So that's all.
First of all, we've evolved beyond the concept of English. We speak freedom.
True that. That's what I like to hear.
Oh yeah, he's absolutely funny. Yeah,
It's just right now, I'm still doing my research on the whole guns and everything. Like I said, I just got my concealed carry permit, so I'm still doing research and stuff about guns. So I'm listening as much as I can when it comes to guns, so I know the safety, the protocols, everything like that.
Yeah, because the moment you screw up, the moment that permit vanishes.
Yeah. Speaking of
Not
guns,
to mention, I want to make sure I want to make sure I don't fuck up and jam a gun when somebody's trying to break into my house with my kids, because in Florida that's a stand your ground rule.
Yeah, they have castle doctrine.
Yeah, there's that too. What are you in the market for? You looking for a handgun or a rifle?
A handgun, something small that I can hide from my kids, but something powerful that could take a motherfucker out if they try breaking into my house.
use a 380. That's what I suggest. Because 9mm, good luck finding ammo. No, that's 38 special you're thinking of. Yeah, 38 special or 380. because 380 is a smaller 9mm. If you want, I can actually show you 380. Give me 1 second here.
Yeah, they took a 9mm and cut it in half. That's what a 380 is. It's kind of like Mario and Luigi.
And one that's not going to be heavy for me to carry around, especially with everything that's going on for the children. I want to be able to protect my children. So I want something that's not going to be heavy, not going to be bulky, that I can just pull out if I feel that mine and my kid's life was threatened.
Go with a Smith & Wesson. Get yourself a Smith & Wesson 380, a bodyguard. It's in the M&P series. That's the one you want to get.
Or get a Ruger LCT. Ruger LCT.
See, I want to.
Okay, hold on. I've got a 380 here, and to Miguel that was in the chat. That's actually a pretty rare gun. Tokarov, yeah, those are nice. Although your standard indoor range should allow you to fire that Tokarov. If not, just go to Indiana and go to an outdoor range. They literally give no flying fuck.
Yet.
Right, oh, that's a Snapcat. There. This, Mandi, is a 380. Pretty much. I'm trying to show this off. It's pretty much a shorter 9mm. Yeah, Miguel's got some good options also. It's actually good to have more people in the chat that are gun savvy. That's fucking awesome. And Daryl, just give me whatever your Discord ID is. That's how we send the link out for everybody.
I see you haven't been paying too much attention to the chat.
Not really. We've got
I lost interest to certain people in the comments and stuff after they said I look like a boy.
Well, I see that there was one guy in here who was addressing you directly, Pox Toxic. Do yourself a favor. Don't talk to that guy. Just ignore him.
Aye. All right, let's see the biggest question.
I'm shy right now, but just wait till I get used to this.
What about you, Scooby? You got any questions for me?
Well, where are you from originally?
Yes.
Nice.
There's no good answer.
Fair enough. Yeah, I got a better one. Where would I pin down that accent to where I would say? Obviously, I'm guessing it's the British Isles. If you wanted to shed some light on where somebody from what part of those isles. Okay. Well, I give up then.
Sounds kind of Irish or Scottish.
Do I sound like a fucking Scot to you?
A little.
I feel personally insulted. I'm from the land of the free, not the Scotland. They never got free.
Nice.
I guess all the blue face paint and screaming about freedom didn't help him in the end, huh?
Yeah. He lost his balls.
Yeah, they had the Glencoe massacre, so it happens. And to this day, no Campbells are still allowed. No Campbells or Hawkers.
No Campbell's? Damn, I like their soup, though.
Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, the other thing that we were going on, Scoop, is I was making a comical historical reference to Marie Antoinette being overthrown and butchered to how Lori Lightfoot over here has basically been doing the same thing with the people that are trying to protest anywhere near her house. The woman calls cops clowns all the time, but yet whenever she needs to be protected from protesters and rioters, oh, there they are for her to hide behind.
Well, as long as the next Assassin's Creed isn't set in Chicago, I think she'll be fine.
Oh well, I suppose, let them eat their reparations. Anyways, so we're gonna go on to the next topic, which, let me go get it here. I'm going to have to make a slight change here. It's gonna be 1 second, because
1 second done.
Oh, you're a bastard.
Yo, Garbage Man, if you got your Discord still, hit Burnside up. He'll send you the link for this.
Yeah.
Seriously, I haven't talked to this guy in a while. He was on Minds for a minute, and he did a lot of good work, and he did some stuff on YouTube, if I could recall, and I haven't talked to him in a minute.
Yeah, Garbage Man's an alright guy. Yeah, how about, since everyone's having trouble with it, how about I just send them my Discord ID, and they can DM me there.
Don't put it in the YouTube chat. That's asking for a mess.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Don't put nothing in the YouTube chat. Just have people hit you up on Discord. Put your Discord ID.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Daryl just put his. He said it's his name, and he put his number, the number on it.
Okay.
Very cool. Now, you do have to realize, Burnside, we do have stalkers and people that are just going to come in here because they're dickheads. So you're going to have to be on your toes. Like, that's the thing. Anyone you don't recognize, don't pull them in. If they don't have an avatar, like, Divinity is different because, we actually were talking to him for a minute before this.
I've always been there.
Yeah, true. But just like in it's actually one of my favorite poems, like in Footprints. Right. Totally trash. Grown men having 380s handy or macho. Bro, what else are you gonna strap on your ankle? Seriously, what are you gonna put a fucking Glock down there? I mean, you need something a little bit smaller for like as a concealing carry, as a secondary backup piece.
It depends on the Glock model.
That is also.
Yeah, no, that's true. But well, I say Glock, I'm immediately thinking of like a Glock 21, or a 20. I forget which one it is. The 10 millimeter. That's the thing, I first think of.
All right, now there's this new trading card game that's coming out called MetaZoo, Cryptid Nation, and it's actually pretty interesting because you guys like the idea of the Mothman beating the shit out of Sasquatch. This is the game you're gonna like. And for those of you that like Ingrid Cold and other weird UFO people just coming down and abducting your enemies and turning them into chupacabras, oh, this is gonna be an entertaining game. You will enjoy.
Were you sponsored?
No, I helped donate. I actually I'm technically
you sponsored.
Yeah, I sponsored them in a sense. I was like, okay, what's this idea? And they told me about it. Like, okay, well, what we basically want to do is we want to have Sasquatch versus Mothman versus a couple other cryptids and other creatures, like folklore creatures and aliens and weird shit like that, fight each other in like a Digimon, Pokemon type of style thing and become a trading card game that has no bullshit attached, no cancel culture, none of that shit. And I was like, America. And they're like, yes. So I threw them. I said, take my fucking money and give me the goddamn cards, motherfucker.
That shit sounds like a standard day of riffs.
Ah, yeah.
I once played in a Sovietsky game, which is set in Sovietsky Russia, because that's what it is now in riffs. I once played a Russian demigod. Thing is, I decided I was gonna make it interesting. We're playing in technically a communist nation. So I'm going to play the son of the deified Karl Marx himself.
Nice. Oh, hysterical.
Let me see.
His one unique ability was immunity to mind control. I flavor texted it as he was immune to foreign propaganda.
Very cool.
Yep.
Is there?
And I was a commissar, of course.
Nice.
Let me see. Miguel R. wrote into the chat. Last pistol I got was the 6-hour P3365, and it is an awesome CCW, 10 to 12 round mags, and the size and recoil of 380.
Oh hell, I think I know what my next one's going to be. Then nice.
Yeah,
I will definitely have to look into that. Yeah.
Henry,
Now the fun thing.
I told you not to put your Discord in the YouTube chat.
Oh, well, how else am I going to get it from us? I mean, it's surprisingly none of them have actually hit me up. So I mean, oh well. But
They're just waiting for them to get their friends on Unicorn Riot.
yeah, probably. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually show the little commercial that they have. For
So you are sponsored.
I paid money for these rat bastards.
Bro, you probably shouldn't be showing that commercial without their permission.
Oh, I got their permission. No, it's all good. I got permission before doing this. I know normally I screw the pooch, but no, we're good this time. Besides, I threw them fucking money, so they better well, damn it.
All right.
I'm looking at this like 90s Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm looking at
like a really, really bad drawing of 90s Pokemon.
No, like the manga.
Yeah, it's not too far off the manga. Yeah, it's pretty much along the same line, but thankfully, unlike Pokemon, they're not going to be making supernatural, phantasmal dishwashers that throw LSD at you for an attack.
Yet.
I don't know. I know. Isn't it weird looking?
Yeah.
It's absolutely hysterical.
The music kind of sounds like a mixed version of Zelda and freaking Final Fantasy.
Yeah, right.
Like it sounds
like it sounds like when Zelda goes into the freaking Link goes into the forest.
Yeah,
that's the one thing I do like about it is it does have that nice throwback to it, and they're in the process of actually developing a comic book for it, as well as 8 days from now they're supposed to release additional content related to the trading card game. But by November, I should actually get my box. So, comically enough, speaking of Pokemon, not on time.
The garbage man wanted to know if you could hum that song for him, Mandy, because he's having trouble placing it.
It's all right.
Yeah, I'm basically going to get a Metazu version of one of these.
Hey.
That has a whole bunch of collectibles and such in come about November, and they've thankfully exceeded their goal. They were set for about $10,000. They are a little over 12 grand right now. So they're getting specialized printers rolling up. They're putting artwork together for the cards and that, and they've actually got holographics that look better than Pokemon, in my opinion. Because I just don't like the fact that people that are older than me are sitting down in their basements going, Pokemon. I like the Pokemon. You know, they all kind of seem like Bernie supporters.
You do that with Magic.
Oh, no. I go far and above and beyond. I am quite literally, because a lot of the people like the tomfoolery that I do, I'm trying to talk them into actually getting me to be a character. And I was doing this initially as a joke because I was like, oh, if I was to actually get in the game and do this, or, if you want me to help, promote by doing like tournaments and stuff like that, I can do this. And next year everyone's like, yes, Henrik, put on the gas mask and grab your wand. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, they like me. Because I was telling them what I was going to do, just to comically promote this. I was actually going to take this Swiss Garrison cap I have, wrap it in tinfoil, and say that I am immune to the alien cryptids, and I use this to control them. Since their whole thing is supposed to be magic casting, I was like, oh, well, I just so happen to have a magic wand. It's a Viking railgun.
I've never played Magic. I've played D&D. I've played WoW. I've played Yu-Gi-Oh!
You've played WoW?
Beyblade.
Wow.
But I've never really played Magic. Now I play what Guardsman's saying, Warhammer. I actually have it on my PlayStation. I was playing it right before you sent me the link for this.
Oh, nice.
Well, speaking of things, if I remember correctly, which of you buggers is the one with the 3 hours? Which of you are past 12 o'clock right now?
I'm past 12.
It's 12:34 here.
Well,
I'm at
congrats.
11:34.
Well, congrats to my current vessel. It's its birthday.
Oh, very cool.
Happy birthday to
Happy
you.
birthday.
Awesomeness. So I'm guessing all the art we were just looking at is like placeholder art, the same with the music.
Yes, it's what they're using for the time being because that's so far what they've developed. The guy who's working on this is based over in New York City or New York State.
God.
I'm not sure exactly where. So yeah, it's gonna be. You're gonna be seeing guys dressed like me from now on, Scoop. You're gonna have guys going down your street, literally running around with a whole bunch of copies of this thing strapped on their back in tinfoil wrapped garrison hats, wearing gas masks.
God's gonna punish you for this. Just letting you know. That actually does sound kind of cool. It would be a nice and refreshing change from all the black communists running down the streets, with Molotov cocktails.
Yeah.
Seriously. Well, luckily for me in my neighborhood, because of where I live, that has not been a problem, and I don't think it's going to be one. From what I'm gathering from my neighbors and how confident they all are, I'm guessing that everyone on the block is strapped. So I'm not too worried about it. I think that if anyone comes up in here, that they're going to get, holes put into them. So, which is kind of funny because the guy across the street from me, I'm convinced he works, not where he works, excuse me. I'm convinced he's a Democrat. I'd put money on it. Something about the guy. And, oh my God, it's hysterical too. I don't want to dox the guy and drop his name on the air. But when I tell you that he and his wife and his kids, their names are all if you were writing a parody about an Italian American family on Long Island, these are what you would name the characters. When I found out what their names were, I actually had to dig my thumb into my other hand to keep from snickering. I was standing there holding my hands together, pinching myself so I wouldn't start because I admit it, I'm an asshole. I have a bit of a twisted sense of humor. But yeah, this guy lives across the street. He's a Democrat, but even he is packing. So
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thankfully, unlike a lot of those guys, MetaZoo's relatively strict with not only running their server but running the game as well. They've told me that they are not going to give in to cancel culture, but they're keeping things relatively strict where they're just trying to keep it game based because they want to get this rolling. Because they're basically tired of like everyone else doing all this weird retard shit, like Garbage Man, and a couple other people mentioned. Yeah, even Warhammer is doing a card game now. Yeah, they're trying to not be incredibly cliche, but they're trying to be comically creative.
And I'm pretty isn't Warcraft doing something? I know they got that Hearthstone thing, I think it's called, that they're doing.
Yeah.
Isn't that similar though? I know it's not a card game. I know it's similar to like Pokemon though, isn't it? Or like one of those things.
Yeah, it's similar. It's basically a digital card game.
Right.
Now, MetaZoo is not, as far as I know, they do not plan on actually going to be a digital card game. They're going for like old school, regular like trading card game.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
I got the ultimate food. Chicken dumpling soup.
Fuck yeah.
Nice.
Remember, chicken soup for the soul.
The soul that you made, my friend.
I forget who wrote that book, Chicken Soup for the Soul. I lucked out. That's one of the things about living here. I've had actual, authentic Jewish chicken soup.
Yeah, and it's only made its nose grow 3 centimeters.
I'm Italian. I already got enough nose.
I eat pizza all the time.
Well,
I make pizza for a living.
Nice. We make it a little different up here. Like my mother makes for usually she would make for the holidays when my father was alive. The two things that my father always liked are beets, which that's what pizza is. Pizza is the American pronunciation of the word. Beets literally means pie. The two things my mother would make every Easter and Christmas are a bitzagin and a bitzashkarol. One is a bitzagin, which that's where they have it's a stuffed pizza. But what's inside of it is you got cheese, you got ham, you got provolone, mortadella, you got all that in there. And then a pizza shkarol, it's just shkarol pizza. It's stuffed pizza. But the way that they make it is it's a big square and it's baked in like a lasagna pan. So it's nothing like American pizza. It's completely different. American pizza is actually a poverty dish. It's literally what they would originally whip up with what they had left at the end of the month. And then when they came to this country, Americans loved it because it is delicious. And boom, next thing you know, that's how most of them, when they came here, that's how they would get their money, was with pizzerias, those who didn't go into concrete.
Well, if you want a bit of what's the word? Know-how about older foods and stuff. Do you know how a lot of like French and Italian cuisine that popped up?
What you mean, like with Marco Polo?
No, just in general.
Different things popped up at different times. I remember, like, the Italian people did not use tomatoes until I think like 200 years ago. It was even that recent, maybe 300. They didn't like them because they were nightshades, and nightshades are poisonous. So
they sat on a church step and started eating a tomato.
Yeah, that's basically what introduced it. Is
because he was praying to me at that time, hoping it was a tomato.
Yeah, because I don't know. A lot of people don't know. Another member of the nightshade family. These are all related plants. Is tomatoes, eggplants, and potatoes. People don't realize potatoes are related. That's actually the root system of a poisonous nightshade. Yeah. I don't know because I got them growing in the backyard. I got a garden. It's great. My backyard, my whole yard is, I think I'm on either a 32nd or a 64th of an acre. It's a small piece of property I got. But I got stucco buckets full of crops growing all over the backyard. I got potatoes, I got squash, I got zucchinis, tomatoes, eggplants, cucumbers, you name it.
Did you know that tomatoes and potatoes are so closely related genetically that you can graft them onto each other?
I had heard about that, and I would actually like to do that because that to me would make more sense. Instead of throwing out all this fruit that's poisonous, You get fruit that's edible along with the roots and tuber system you could dig up.
Wait, you mean the for the potato, the berries? They're not poisonous.
Yeah, you can't eat those.
Yeah, you can.
I'd always been raised not to eat those things. The two things, you can't eat the fruit off of a potato plant, and you can't eat the eyes of the potato. Once the potato starts growing eyes, you shouldn't eat it. That's when you should throw it in the yard and plant it. At least from what I know. I did actually want to set up a greenhouse back there. That's, believe it or not, before Trump got elected, that's what originally got me onto YouTube. I was looking into greenhouses and into aquaculture. There's a guy who has a setup. I was going to try to imitate it. I wanted to put down into the floor. Like he has under his floor, he has all these fish tanks, and they're full of goldfish. And he has fresh water constantly coming in and displacing an equal amount of fish water. And the fish water is pumped through these tubes, and it's sprayed directly on the plants, and it fertilizes the plants. So I started like on YouTube looking at that. Then the election came up right around probably a year or two afterwards, and all hell broke loose. And that's what I wound up stumbling onto mines, and that's how I met Burnside, and that's how I met Garbage Man. We got in the chat here, and my God, this many years later, this brings us to where we are now. Amazing how crazy shit works, right? I mean, if I hadn't been looking into agriculture and aquaculture, Burnside, your mic is muted. If I hadn't been looking into those things, I would never have wound up here and talking to Burnside. It's crazy.
Okay, yeah, I was trying to talk to Daryl in Discord.
Okay.
But for some reason his mic is.
If they need to, they can add my Discord. I only get on there to talk to y'all.
Yeah, a lot of these people. Yeah, all right. A lot of these people are crazy, though. You might want to not talk to them. Just giving you a heads up.
No, we tend to like garbage none of them.
Oh yeah, no, he's cool people. Him I can vouch for.
But hey, he doesn't take.
Yeah, I know my camera's off. I'll be right back.
No, that's fine. Do your thing.
Okay.
So, we're waiting on that. Finally, we can get back to real subjects.
Yep. So, let's get on to the next. That's over. Go with the card game.
Okay.
So let's
Tell me you got a different hat for each different segment you're gonna do.
Used to.
No, I just said those two. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Daryl's trying to call again.
All right. Do your thing.
Okay, Daryl, is your microphone working right now?
I love how your Trump shirt has hair above the 2020. That's awesome.
I made it.
That's so cool. You know, it's funny because where he's from, the president, he's from about 20 minutes from where I am right now. That like where he grew up in Jamaica Estates. And well, maybe more like 25 minutes. I'd have to go cut up through Jamaica and Jamaica Avenues. So.
You don't like Jamaica Avenue?
No, it's not that. It's Jamaica Avenue that's the jump off, as we say. You got all the best shopping over there. You go there for your jewelry. You go there. You know, you go to Jamaica Avenue if you're gonna go get a chain. If you want to get like a couple pairs of Air Force Ones or Uptowns, you know, especially now because of Nike doing that shit with, you know, like getting rid of those flags. I tell everybody, please go to Jamaica Avenue and buy knockoff by all means. I still rock Nike and I still rock Adidas, but they don't get a dime. I rock counterfeit shit. And I'll be honest with you, I'm a true New Yorker. I think the counterfeit shit is better.
Don't forget about the Gucci's.
donkey punching you can't get anywhere in New York in 25 minutes. Yo, true that. But, you know, you got to tell people it's 25 minutes away. I mean, yeah, if you go at 2 in the morning at like a Wednesday when it's raining and, you know, it's the middle of, I don't know, January when nobody's doing nothing. Yeah, you could get somewhere in 25 minutes. You know, everyone's home asleep. But yeah, no, I know what he means. Donkey punching you is saying, like, I think I told you this, Burnside. I'm actually, I think 27 miles away from Vinny in Brooklyn because he lives up on the North Shore. I'm on the South Shore, and then you got to weave through traffic, so it adds up mileage. 27 miles away, but it would take me about, I looked at it, 3 hours and 45 minutes in midday because of how bad the traffic is in the part of Brooklyn he's in. Like, unfortunately, I'd have to cut through all of Brooklyn to get to him. And Brooklyn isn't that big. It's a small county. Queens is actually the nightmare to cut through.
How much do you read?
I went to school for English. I read a lot.
I read every now and again.
Did I pass? No, I actually dropped out of college because I went into the private sector to get a job at a newspaper.
Ah.
Yeah. I never went back to college.
Something to do with your major.
Yeah. I did that, and I worked on the radio station. You know, for the life of me, I can never remember if it was Clear Channel Communications or Infinity Broadcasting. I know those are big too. And people are like, that's like saying you can't remember if you worked for Coke or Pepsi. And my response to people is, it was over 15 years ago, closer to like 20 years ago. You know, it was a while. I don't really remember which one of them it was. I tell people all the time, like literally, if you want to know which one I worked at, look up WBAB 102.3 FM in New York. I didn't work at the FM station. I worked across the street at the AM affiliate that they owned. So I would tell people this, and immediately they're like, oh my God, do you know Opie and Anthony? I'm like, yeah, I met him once or twice, you know, at the station. They're like, you've met Opie and Anthony? I'm like, yeah, I didn't know. I would never have even mentioned I worked at this radio station if I knew this shit was syndicated nationally. Because the one thing that happens is, like, you tell people you know somebody who's famous or anything, and immediately it's like, well, no, you didn't. You don't know him. You're a piece of shit liar. Like, what the fuck am I going to gain by saying I know the person? I don't want to snub them and be like, nah, I don't know this guy. You know, and be a dick if I actually know him. Like Opie and Anthony, met them, like I said, 2-3 times. I know them and know of them. Now, Burnside can tell you because he's met me in person. When I say, you know, well, yeah, they know me if they see me, it's because I'm a big fucking guy.
Plus, you had a heart attack when he first met you.
Wait a minute. Are you tall?
Yeah. I'm 6'2", flat-footed. Like with that boots on.
I wouldn't be able to meet you in person. I would be terrified.
Why, you scared of tall people? I'm not like freakishly tall.
Aye. Calm down.
I was about 6 or 7 when my mom introduced me to my cousin.
I didn't hear what you just said because there was crosstalk.
I was about 6 or 7, and I met my father's cousin that lives in New York, and he was like 6'8", 6'9", and I hate looking up at people, so it terrifies me if I have to look up at them.
I'm 6'2" when I'm barefoot. With boots on, it brings me up to about like 6'4".
I'm only 5'4" and a half, so yeah, it terrifies me.
I'm not that much taller than you. I'm sure that it's unless there's like something I missed in Florida is like a wash in short people. I'm sure you've seen other people as big as me. Probably any cop or state trooper. They usually, you know, tend to be bigger guys. I'm big. I'm not huge. I'm just a big guy. That's my point. Like what I was saying though is if anyone, also because I tend to dress actually a little bit loud. So, and I'm very boisterous in person. So when people meet me, usually, I tend to be dressed a little bit, I don't want to say flamboyant and people think I show up dressed like Liberace. I tend to be dressed, you know, a little bit like punkish, thuggish, however you want to put it. I don't know how to label it. I wear shit like this, you know.
Scene kind of
being a Yorkie.
You see, Solarian Rainquest 6'2" when he's not hunched over walking with his cane. I don't hunch. The cane is actually because I had damage to my lower back and my leg doesn't respond.
He doesn't like what happened back in Nam.
No, I'm not that old.
Yet.
He has a larger frame. They used to call it big boned. Yeah, pretty much. Like one of the things, again, Burnside can vouch for me, so I'm not blowing smoke about this. One of the things I used to do when I was younger was I'd go out to I'm in my 40s. I'm 41. Like a lot of my friends would go to Comic-Con and they cosplay and shit. And they'd be like, yo, can you come and be so-and-so? And the people that they had me go as was the Punisher. They had me go as Superman. And the other one that I used to do all the time was, because you couldn't see my hair, Captain America and Batman, because they're all 6'2". And I had the right measurements because they were trying to win a contest. It's just like, like in the Big Bang Theory, because it was on last night. My wife was watching it. Like the Big Bang Theory, what you call it? They were really begging the girl across the hallway to go with them to the Comic-Con because she was a chick and they wanted her to be Wonder Woman so they could win. The reason that they always wanted me to go with them is so they could have a character the authentic size, and they could enter the contest and win. So the few times I went to Comic-Con in New York City, it was for that reason. They gave me the costume. They paid my way in. It was fun.
Not as fun as the day that came after.
Yeah. Let me see here. Let me see. This natural healthy CBD. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and guess that's not the actual natural healthy CBD. And that's a corporation. So the person who is impersonating them, is probably violating the law.
Only
Scooby,
only if it's monetized.
Yeah. No. I mean, it's an actual business based out of Chicago that this idiot is impersonating. Scooby, did you hear about it? Yeah, I don't fucking care. Seriously.
That's the one that called me a boy.
Yeah. Just jealous. Yeah.
Hey. It's all right.
Let me see. Oh, these people are they're a fun no, it's me. I don't fucking care. Get a life. This is the reason you're divorced and you're sitting at home. Anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna ignore this moron. We have to. The one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, though, was what we were talking about earlier, me and Burnside. The inauguration. Mandi, are you going?
When?
What is it? January 23rd? Is it, or?
Yeah, 23rd or 21st, I think is when it's.
It all depends. It all depends on if I can get the day off, because I am requesting 6 days off in September, and I automatically get my birthday off, which is the 21st of December. So,
all right.
Why is Mandi in a tent? I am cold. My house is like 50 degrees inside right now. I live in Florida. It's hot as hell outside and freezing cold inside.
At least it's not Montana. It could be hot one second, then cold the next.
I've only been to Florida twice. I liked it when I was there. Tara gets all upset because I constantly bring up the Florida man stories, and I always point out to her, I think that's so cool.
My friend's a Florida man.
That's so awesome. What'd he do?
Okay, so you know the one that was that was viral all over the news, all over, about the guy who brought the alligator into the convenience store to buy beer?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
that was my friend from school.
Awesome. Can you get him on one night as a guest if he's not locked up?
He's not locked up. He's still doing stupid shit. I'm pretty sure I can ask him.
That's so awesome. I'd love to have him on. I don't know if Tara ever told you the what you call it. She had on this guy as a guest, and we're talking to him. And what he was the one of the head animators for Hanna-Barbera and for DIC. So I forget what I brought up with him, but he did all of the animation. He did animation for Transformers. He did animation for He-Man, and he did this and that. And I asked him, I'm like, are you familiar with this character? And he's like, well, yeah, I created it. And I'm like my eyes were bulging out of my head by the end of the interview.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, she had him on twice. And bro, he was so impressed with Burnside, because Burnside's sitting here like we're on the interview, and Burnside's casually CGI like he's making a tank while he's talking to the guy, and the guy's like, wow, that's really impressive, son. He was like blown away that he's just casually like CGI doing shit while we're in the middle of a stream. Telling you, man, you got talent and you're wasting it. Just saying.
Regrettably, there's not a lot of U.S. companies that are, taking people in my field unless they're communists. So it is what it is.
No. There are some CGI. You just have to find a company that's become American but was originally Japanese, because we all know they need some good CGI.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, Burnside, if you want to work with me, I'm in the process. I do coding, so I build websites and shit, so.
Perfect.
Sure.
Speaking of things.
Oh, by all means.
Speaking of things, I actually once played a Florida man in a superhero game.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
The Florida man. He had the unique ability of every session, the GM would roll up random powers based on a Florida man story.
Oh my god.
Oh, nice. That's really cool. That's creative.
First session, Florida man shot in the head 3 times while he was sleeping. Wakes up. He gained extra physical endurances abilities and such in response. And I'm going to give you a list of abilities. I want you to guess the story that was grabbed. Extraordinary physical endurance, extraordinary physical beauty, and underwater abilities.
Oh god.
That's which one is this? Oh god. Which Florida man story? I give up.
I'm guessing Florida man crashes boat.
No. Florida man sexually assaulted by herd of manatees.
Bro, how could you not love that state? Oh, I can't wait to move to Jesus's waiting room. Are you kidding me? It's going to be awesome. Seriously, all it is hot chicks with that southern twang and crazy crackers going running around on their fan boats high on meth. That shit is awesome.
I mean, and then you get the girls with the southern twang that's psychotic as hell.
Yeah, I know. That seems to be the run of the mill down there.
Psychotic as hell.
Oh god. Yeah, I'm pretty much out of hats for segments. But let's see here. The next one I was going to get into. I kept checking DMs in that garbage man. I don't know why you're not able to get in. Daryl, I'm sorry, but your mic, whatever, doesn't seem to be working. I can't help you there. Sorry.
I'm sorry, but Skynet said no.
Pretty much. So
I messaged my friend. I'm actually talking to him right now. I was like, hey, my friend wants to know if you want to join in on one of his podcasts.
Oh, yeah, by all means, come on. And, Mandi, if anything, after we get done here, I'll show you some of the stuff I got in my portfolio, because most of the stuff I work with is Maya and Photoshop, because I prefer to do my own textures and stuff. So, by all means, if anything, we'll be able to work on some fun stuff in the future.
Oh, yeah.
Just be careful and don't fall into the trap of artism.
Oh yeah, that's the one thing I'm trying to avoid. Speaking of art, there's actually been an email campaign going on for Games Workshop because they decided that they wanted to do Warhammer is for everyone, but if you violate the fees, get the fuck out. Now, being the fact that we have so many dank memes of God Emperor Trump being the God Emperor of the Imperium, yeah, you being God Emperor, yes, with Donald Trump's hair, yes. Since such memes exist, they're wanting to purge you for political heresy.
Of course. Obviously, GW knows how well that thing called heresy turns out.
God damn.
Oh yeah.
I have nothing to do with that. Don't you bring me up.
There we go.
Oh god.
So heavily
yeah.
consciously bound into your way of speech that you say it without thinking.
Yeah. So speaking of shit like that, apparently it's been working a little bit. Games Workshop, apparently, from what Arch has been saying, is actually saying, okay, we're not going to be doing any of the diversity hiring or teaching related to that, telling people that you must capitulate to me. So that's a good thing. Bad thing is they're still fucking with Arch and they're not letting him put Warhammer after Arch because he's basically been like a big sponsor and promoting these guys and stuff.
Well, used to be.
Yeah, regardless, he used to be. Now he's like, okay, you guys have kind of fucked me over just because I, enjoy playing the game and I don't, go with mainstream politics. It's strange because he's fucking Norwegian. In Norway, if I remember correctly, or in the United Kingdom, one of the two. But I think from his last couple of videos he's done, he's like mentioned that, in Norway. Because he went on about the Anglo-Saxon Chronicles and that. And he's like, my people, my people. And I'm like, oh, cool, yeah, I get you there. Yeah, my people too with the Kaiser flag. Get you. So I've actually sent an email to the bastards on multiple occasions, and yeah, they've apparently severed the cord there. So I'm gonna have to start doing a mail campaign of some kind or another, in order to get an answer from these sons of bitches, or just keep emailing. Because yeah, I don't like the fact that they're giving into the political divide. I would like to just give them my money and get the little figurines, and go over in the suburbs or somewhere in Indiana and just sit there and play the damn game without someone, shouting, bantering nonsense at me about, real life politics. If someone's gonna banter at me, I'd rather it be them bantering at me that, my Kriegsmen aren't Krieg enough because they're happy. Or you could always play as a Tau, mate. Because, fuck the Tau.
Unless it's ranged.
Yeah.
They're good at range.
Yeah.
Just melee is a joke.
Yeah, they have no melee. The critical weakness of the Tau. And, if you're a real badass Chad like Sergen, you just say, I'm going to be a dick, and I'm going to play as, wait for it, the space monsters. Here come the Tyranids. Because, yeah, those skull fuck pretty much everything and everything because they're just fucking crazy.
Yeah. But at least in the canon story, we got King Bone Daddy himself coming back.
I hope so.
I think Daryl wants a wrench, Burnside.
I suppose we could give him a wrench. Why not?
Yeah.
All right. How
That'd
do
be
I
good.
actually? Okay, let me go into the actual chat here and see if I can give him a wrench.
Yeah.
Because I can't do it from the other thing, Jig. Add moderator. There you go, Daryl Levin. You now have a wrench.
Yeah, you can play with those people in the chat. Have fun with them.
Definitely. Take it as a consolation for microphone communication technical difficulties and stuff. God. Funny thing is, as far as Games Workshop doing the Games Workshop Warhammer is for everyone, but Call of Duty was doing that for a while too. But now people are saying since them and Activision decided to make the latest installment of the game where it's like, well, we actually don't like communism. No, you're going left and then you're going right. Where is it the thing that they're doing, or is it just they're like, okay, if we actually say nice things, like, Yeah, basically, yeah. And I'm figuring, is it politics or is it?
I think
them
they
trying
see
to,
that the pendulum is swinging towards another side, and they think this can get us some money. Let's start siding with these guys to see if it works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, because it kind of seems like that. Because I mean, what they've done is they did the same virtual signaling. Company I work for did the virtually signaling that for Floyd and Boys and that, but now they're like going the opposite direction. So it's like, is this something that's like it started over in the United Kingdoms with Games Workshop, and then the counter thing has hit them, and now it's kind of doing the same thing over in the U.S. You know, I'm
It's
wondering if there's
libertarians. That's all you need to know. They got no loyalty except to the greenback god.
oh yeah, and that's what I'd rather have governing all this stuff. Is just cold hard cash. I don't really care if you're voting left, you're voting right. Just don't be a dick if I don't agree with you. Just shut up, take my money, give me your goddamn product, and let me enjoy it. That's all. Hell. I don't want them to start, bombing me with ads for this and that, or telling me I have to subscribe to a certain campaign or do any crap like that. So I'm hoping the resistance, is actually working well. Because that's why I don't like my field that I'm in, for my degree, is because a lot of people that are in animation and stuff like that, you got to be part of the NPC cult. It's like, yeah, scratch that. I don't like all that.
All right. Things are changing a little bit. After all, most furries are Nazis.
As it comically turns out.
Okay.
Oh,
It's a common joke.
All these people talk about how the video games, Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, all these games should be banned because they show gun violence, violence towards other people. But as a 90s baby, I remember back when they came out with Scarface before they took it back off the shelf because it was too vulgar. I remember the first two kinds of Grand Theft Autos where you could sleep with the hookers and you actually see the car move. And I'm just
yeah.
like, well, it's not the games that's teaching these kids this.
Well, yeah. Remember, Cyberpunk is coming out, and the stuff that's going to be on it.
I'm wondering how long it's going to take before they try taking that one back off the shelf and off of the PlayStation.
Nah,
like
Cyberpunk's got too much money behind it.
Like they had the game Manhunt where you were literally fighting for your survival from a mental hospital, and they took it off because they said that it was causing people to riot and everything because it was too violent for their kids. Well, if it's too violent for your kids, why don't you do like my family did when I was a kid? Send their ass outside to play. Don't let them play on a video game all day.
Actually,
hold on, I gotta let Patches out.
All right, you go let Patches up. Yeah, I absolutely love the fact that they're trying to go and shove their crap into video games and stuff, and they're trying to go hashtag salad fist, liberal, yes, orange man must be terribly bad.
Careful, don't turn cringy.
Oh, they're doing mega cringe. They're like trying to do cringe worse than the fucking DNC, which I haven't watched yet because I heard it was pretty fucking bad. So.
But I mean, it's just like how people are against vaping. Like I was watching a YouTube video. It was a vape person, a vapor that does reviews. He was showing all these commercials of anti-vapors. And one of them, it looked like they were trying to create a porn video. I kid you not. They had like this woman who was dressed all slutty sitting on the bed next to a little furry puppet. And the way that they just made it sound, they made it sound literally like they were trying to make it a porn style to say, oh, vaping's bad.
Funny thing is, those anti-vape ads often cause more harm than they do good.
Because it's all based on, like, what they don't realize is if they're trying to get vaping banned because it's promoting for children, trying to think of the best way of saying it, then they need to stop their anti-vape commercials, because their anti-vape commercials contain puppets, contains the kids who they literally gave vapes, and you can tell that they don't know what the hell they're doing, sitting there trying to vape and stuff. And I'm sitting here watching them. I'm like, okay, so that was wrong, because I know the ohm laws, I know the safety procedures in it, so I don't get my ass blown up. These can blow up. But I had a whole full-blown conversation with somebody that's overseas in the UK about it, and he agreed. He said the way that they're doing the anti-vape commercials, they're leaning them more towards kids, which is getting them more interested in vaping.
Mm-hmm. It always happens. I mean, I want to get in gas masks and guns and shit like that. It's because they always put them on bad guys, and then they put it into heavy metal, and I was like, this looks awesome. Like, quite literally, Dimebag Arrow
look at Sabaton
in a gas mask.
Or look at Sabaton.
Oh, exactly, Sabaton. Prime example, yeah. Yeah, I've actually, oh god, I wish I did have my pickle hob here. I got the hat version. Yeah. Yeah, gotta love how they're targeting kids with everything these days. It drives me absolutely fucking nuts. Especially with the video games. Video games are bad unless we control them. Then they're good. That's why they're trying to do the distance. The only resistance video game I like is Home.
So after we get done with this, I need to talk to Scooby and Burnside on Discord about something. I have 2 people that possibly want to join in on one of your podcasts because they are very open-minded people. I've personally had an hour-long video chat with them where we just did what we're doing here.
Awesome. I'm totally open.
And they're overseas, so they've got a whole different situation because they only hear what's on the TV and on the news from over here.
Okay. Yeah. Look, I know I look a little wild here because I've got an American flag, a phalangus flag, and an Iron Jack, but I collect flags, so
He's a vexologist. He's a bit of a weirdo.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I can tell you the story about all 3 of these. But in certain countries, that's a hate crime, or whatever.
Until they become conquered by the red, white, and blue.
Damn right. That's why it's dead center. Oh, God.
Soon there will become only one nation.
Oh, yeah, one nation under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all. Amen.
Indiscriminately.
Indiscriminately, yes. That is hysterical. All right, now let's see here. Now, here comes the fun segment. This is where I show the shots.
Okay.
So for those of you who do not know, there is a website that I go to all the time to see what the crime stats are like in the city of Chicago, and it's called HeyJackass.com.
I thought you used Live League.
Oh, they update this all the time. They updated this yesterday at around 10 at night, it looks like, if I'm reading this correct. And there's a couple funny things that we always look for. The one thing we like to look for is how we're doing in the week, how are we going for the year to date, how's the month looking as it's wrapping up, and then we look at the various shots that have happened as well as the map. Like, the one fun thing I always like to show here is this map. Now, the reason why I do like showing this map is because you actually get to see what the badness is like over here.
Good old Chirac.
Oh, yeah. Come on, get that segment up. Here we are. So here's what it's been looking like since the riots and such have gone on. And oh boy, I tell you what, are we getting encircled over here? Riverdale's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shootings. South Deering has 4. And they still got my neighbor over there on the east side. And here's little Hegwish over here. They've left us the hell alone. I guess they got the idea that we shoot back at people.
Just wait until they decide to try to move on in.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. I got some stories for you about that. But I'll do that on another stream when we have something more hill rock. Because, oh, God, the shit we did when the Floyd riots broke out to make sure that nobody looted or shot up our town. Oh, my God. It got crazy. In a good way, though.
You brought me up again.
Yes, I did. Now, for those that don't know, here's how it works. These little yellow-orange dots are homicides. These blue ones are double homicides. These big red ones here, like the one in Inglewood, is a triple homicide.
You mean a care package?
Yep. That's your care package. The black stars here are police involved incidents. And the green ones, like this one over here in Eastside, those are self-defense. Like my neighbor. You know, I think someone tried to get into his house and he shot him.
There's only like one self-defense.
That's because it's Chicago and they don't exactly want you protecting yourself. You know, that's just how it is. You know, they're not exactly pro-2A over here. And there's 2 cities, 3 I usually always like to go by, but I go by these 2 because they're most commonly known. The first one is Inglewood. The good people of Inglewood are literally known as the graveyard of Chicago because there's always shootings going on there. The police are busy around the damn clock. The only good thing that happened in Inglewood is when the BLM Antifa people came and they were trying to get to the police station to protest in front of it and start going down blocks. The good people of Inglewood unloaded their fury and told them, you're going to get the fuck out of here. And they got the fuck out of there.
If I can take 1 second, Burnside. Okay, a stone monkey. There you go. Senpai has noticed you. Okay? So...
Senpai noticed you. Oh, holy shit, we had one in Montclair. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Wow, I must have been trying to get out of Austin.
Wait. Does that make 3 self-defense? Because there's also one in Garfield Park.
Yeah, that's 3. Okay, these are 2 new ones. Because before, when we did the last segment, we only had the one on each side over here next door. All the way over on the north side here. We've got one buddy who's defended himself in Montclair. Good for you. And one dude over in Garfield Park. Oh, that's the other graveyard of Chicago. They get shot up all the time, as you can see on the map here. Good that they had some self-defense. Now, the other thing here that you might notice is all of these areas are different colors. Now, these nice areas that have blue and don't have the name listed have 0 shooting. The ones that are the darker shade of blue, that's about 5 or less shooting. These yellow ones, like we got here with West Side, Lower West Side, and New City, those are 10 or less. Now, when you get into red, we're right here with Humboldt Park, North Lawndale, and Little Village, that's 10 or more shooting. And then when we get to gray, how it is over here in Austin, Garfield Park, and Inglewood, that's when you got 25 or more. Now, thankfully, we don't have any areas that are black yet. That's when it gets crazy, where there's been 50 or more shootings in an area.
And give it a Chicago.
Yep, this is Chicago proper. This is not the unincorporated areas of Cook County and the suburbs. This is.
I know, but is this website only for Chicago?
Yes. This website is exclusively for Chicago, as far as I know. I think they tried to put this up for other neighborhoods and cities, but they didn't exactly get the proper funding because Hey Jackass basically lives off of donations.
I wonder how many shootings are in Florida. I can only imagine.
Probably a lot.
Especially in Jacksonville.
I can imagine. You know, a funny thing here, now that I'm looking at this, it looks like we've got a handful from the loop in the north side here. So these must have possibly occurred over the past 2 weekends with the reparations riots that they had. Because right up from the loop here, all the way up into here is where you get into the ritzy, nice, fancy areas of Chicago. It's where, you know, you get all your expensive shit. You know, especially up over here and that. You know, because that's north side and all that. Like where they got Logan Square and so on and so forth. So it looks like you're getting a little ballsy.
Stone Monkey up in the chat is saying he lives over in Garfield Park.
Oh, you poor sorry son of a bitch. Well, I hope you're the one guy who actually did the self-defense here, because, boy, somebody needs to protect themselves when all these other people are not protecting other people. Because we got one double homicide. We got a whole bunch of single homicides in that right along the border. It's as if Austin and Garfield Park were at war with each other, which, they might hate. Most of these areas are riddled with gangs, all sorts of gangs. Like Inglewood in particular is known for having several different gangs on several different blocks, all shooting at each other because they want to run that block.
Yeah.
And even Rogers Park over here. Now, if I remember correctly, Rogers Park is where they actually took down the statue of Christopher Columbus. They've got 3 shootings over there. You know what happens when you capitulate to the mob? You start getting shooting. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Well, I just don't understand. Like, your mayor is insane. The mayor up over in New York City is insane. The governor here is fucking nuts.
Oh, yeah. They put this meme out particularly for Marie de Lightfoot. I have a right to make sure that my house is secure, and I fart in your general direction, from Monty Python.
I remember what it's from. The Holy Grail.
Yep.
Actually, that gives me a quick way, really quick, to segue back to what you were talking about with the Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder and that sort of shit.
Yeah.
From that movie, I think I told you when I used to DM, one of the guys was a stand-up comedian. Another guy, he drew a comic strip for a college newspaper. And one of the guys was a disc jockey. And I'm pretty sure we had a cop there, too, a New York City cop. It was a really eclectic bag. These sick fucks all used to sit there and, like in Monty Python with the coconut shells, they would sit there, and when they were on their horses, they're sitting there like this, and they're fucking banging the coconut shells together, like in that movie, to imitate the horses. I used to love DMing with these guys because that was the best part, because, they were such a mixed bag. Oh, God, that's got to be at least 20 years ago now.
2 scores, man. 2 score. Times change.
Yeah.
Let me see.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go to the fun shots here.
Okay.
I just didn't want to, just have that playing over while you're talking about Dungeons and Dragons. So I thought of it there for a minute. Yeah, that doesn't exactly fit the bill.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, there was the inception there for a moment.
Yeah, you clicked the wrong tab. That tends to happen. So,
No, I mean you touched YouTube.
Yeah, it happens. Now here's the cases we've had in the city for the pandemic. And the funny thing is, you'll see cases, related deaths, because they're related, not the exact cause, as you can see here, graphic. And from the percentages, it's actually kind of interesting because this number of high-speed lead actually went up, as did the death. Because for high-speed lead, that it just so happens to be related, you've got 2,602 cases, which is 444 deaths, and 17.1%. And then actual pandemic is apparently 1,118.
118,757.
Yes, and a little under 5,000 deaths, which is 4.20. Kind of odd because this is considerably less, but is more, and considerably more, but less.
Well, obviously, whoever was firing those weapons are terrible shots.
Oh, Jesus, yeah, I've got another fun one here for that.
Now, question, the COVID thing that you just showed, what's the population of Chicago, technically? Like, on an estimate?
Couple of million.
I was about to say, because I'm looking at the number of cases y'all have and the number of deaths y'all have, and I fear for I would honestly be an idiot for not saying this, but I honestly fear for my safety in Florida. We have 4,730 new cases, which now leads us to 593,286 cases total. And we just had 119 new deaths, which led us to be 10,304.
Remember, every single new infected person just means another person add to the pile of, hey, he's going to become recovered, and then he's going to be another one add to the list of herd immunity.
Yeah.
But see, the reason why I'm saying that I'm honestly scared for my health and everything is even throughout all this, even when everything else closed, my job stayed open. So it makes you wonder how many people have came to my job that has had COVID or have COVID.
Hey, it's all right. It's all right. The
Mhm.
Spanish is worse.
Oh yeah, Spanish flu is definitely worse. Here's the general breakdown we have of average age of infection, male, female, and general ethnicity, and the numbers. These are our viral demographic. And it seems like if you're basically between 60 to 90, oh yeah, you're getting it like crazy. Ooh. And it
Or
looks like
maybe it's
that.
because those people are getting tested more often.
Oh, that's always a possibility. I mean, shoot, the church around the corner from where I'm at was doing free testing. A couple
Well,
people probably posted as positive.
hey, at least they're offering it free.
Mm-hmm. And here's the other fun one I recently found that they put up that I laugh at considerably because diabetes is one of them on there, and I have a feeling it's not exactly diabetes.
It's diabetes.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, but this
Why
is
does diabetes have the Chinese flag?
because I think they're trying to say it's not diabetes.
Oh,
I
okay.
think you're trying to say
They're saying,
little-
hey, you're getting a bit of what's the word? You're getting a bit fat on Chinese goods.
yeah, as well as possibly getting a certain contagion.
They're probably trying to say that it's COVID.
Probably that's exactly what I was aiming for.
Yeah. Well, stay careful. COVID 20 is up next.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the
That's
next
the one
thing.
that
Yeah,
gives you zombies.
probably.
And I've
Yeah,
got some terrible news. They're runners.
Great.
Hopefully y'all had some practice with some Call of Duty zombies to learn how to shoot right and aim right. I'm talking about the people that play video games all the time.
Oh god. Oh, I love this piece of artwork. I'm gonna have to buy this. Oh, they got it in pre-order. Awesome. Bridges up, don't loot. Hell yeah. I see. I love when they make artwork. The only thing that sucks is usually by the time I actually find that they're making new artwork, it goes out of sale. You know, like, oh, sorry, not making it anymore.
So what does it say? Bridges up, don't shoot?
Yeah, bridges up, don't loot.
Oh, don't loot. That's great.
Bridges up, don't loot. From
Awesome.
Jack. Oh yeah, I'm definitely getting that.
Well, you can't loot if you can't go past.
Yep, can't loot downtown if you can't get in. Now where the hell is the? Here's the fun. Here's the shot of Trevor.
Yes.
Oh, this is such a shame. We've had 35 nut shots, but not a single one has happened in August. Damn.
Hey. That's just a lucky month then.
Yeah. Looks like we had 8 in July. Jesus Christ. June and July. Holy crap. That's where we got 16 nut shots. That is the most nut shots I've actually seen since I've started watching this website regularly. Holy God.
Ultimate Fury in the chat says Chicago's murder rate is like Amarillo's if it was bigger.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I talked to Fury a good time about Amarillo. Yeah. He was telling me about that, and I was like, holy crap, that sounds like it's nuts.
Donkey
yeah, no.
Punching You says Chicago will burn again, but this time it'll be a jogger, not a cow that starts it.
Yeah, they're probably right. Holy crap. Look at the ass shots, man. Oh my god. Asses have been tapped by hot lead. Holy cow.
Shot in the ass. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah, the shot in the ass meter. I have never seen nearly 40 people in 1 month get shot in the ass. You see, this is what happens when you decide you're going to go do the George Floyd and reparation, right? This month, but this is apparently what I guess happened when they were doing all of the looting and the shooting. Is they decided that they weren't going to be lethal and they were going to shoot people in the ass. God. Dude, which rapper was it that coined the term "cap in the ass"?
Oh God, I couldn't tell you. It's not even like that's just something that people around the neighborhood say.
God, because yeah, that's the most ass shots I've seen on this site. Like here, the amount of people who have shot themselves, we're on average. There hasn't been an exceptional number of them for a change. You know, we don't have any for August, so that's the first. The chances are after we update it by the end of August, we'll say, oh, okay, hey, we magically found 4 more. You know, because it usually goes 2 to 4 on average. So, you know, that happens. But, you know, we're sitting at about 26 so far, so we're doing all right here. Got ahead with a couple of things. And let's see here.
Did that just say something about Karens needing to calm the fuck down?
Probably.
Oh, yeah. This is one of their sponsors. Speaking of hot. Jared needs to calm the fuck down. No more coupon required. Rue for your quality CBD products. Yeah. That's what I love. This site is absolute comedy gold. Oh, okay. Let me find.
That is funny.
Let me find my other shot that they have it a bit further up because it's usually what people go to. This is out of all cadavers and other people who have basically filed reports. Here's usually how the shots between fatal and wounds usually go. So blue means these are people who have died from these wounds to the area. Where white is people who have been wounded to by damage to this. So 167 people have been killed by headshots, whereas 189 have been wounded by headshots. So it looks like they're somehow improving accuracy. Arms, not too many. Yeah. Yeah, the one thing that's always strange is the unknown or other are always almost neck and neck, where it's like they're looking at a body that's been ripped apart and they're just like, it's in some other weird part of the body we don't know how to put it as, or it's, a trick shot where they, shoot a 22 at you multiple times that goes through your torso to your lower body out to your arm because you're sitting there, holding your leg and then it goes. Or they just don't know. Because sometimes shot placements are not always reported because these are all for shots. So, if they basically, are just too busy doing the paper, like, fuck it, bring it to the coroner. And lower bodies, there's almost always more wounds to the lower body than actual fatal shots. Chances are some of these fatal shots are some of the nut shots that we've had. And the number of wounded shots to the lower body are probably those ass shots that we've seen so fucking many. That's more or less how that.
So Scooby, Ultimate Furry says he loves your mask.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you, Furry. You're the best.
Yeah, he's been digging the hell out of it, man. He's been in DMs like, dude, that's a really badass mask.
Yeah, I actually, too bad I don't have one of the new prototypes around. I'd show it to him. That's for anyone, I really haven't, I don't think, talked about this publicly. I think it was just in servers. This mask, I'm probably going to be retiring it soon. Because I got a new one, I'm going to get painted to resemble it. So it's going to look exactly like it, but it's a better quality. This is hard plastic. Yeah. The other one I'm putting together is a vinyl. So it'll breathe a lot better. It's going to be colored the same way, but it should actually look really good. The guy I got it off of, he sent it to me. It has the triangles on it like the Jason Voorhees one, so I have to get those all sanded off before I get it painted. So yeah, don't worry, Fury. I'll have it set up and it should look good to go.
Yep, don't worry. We'll keep you posted on that.
Yeah, I got a whole new streaming outfit that I got put together to start doing this shit again with. For anyone interested, that's part of the reason I haven't been doing this a lot lately. Really quick disclosure. I lost basically somebody who's like a brother to me, like a little brother. I lost him recently, and the COVID, and then the city deciding, hey, we're just going to go full apocalypse mode and a few other things. Yeah, I've had a full boat lately, and I was with the stimulus check finally coming through. I was able to get a bunch of the shit together I needed, like technologically wise, like to start doing this, like the camera and the microphone here that I'm using. So yeah, I'm gonna start doing streams again. For anyone who just thought that people actually chased me off of here, or I wasn't doing this shit because of people, I don't give a fuck about any of these people. Honestly, they ain't shit to me. I've had a lot of shit going on. I mean, watch a Tim Pool video. Like his videos, it's usually this is a typical day of Tim Pool. I've noticed it goes Seattle, Chicago, New York, Tim Cast at night. That's usually what his videos are. You know, it's in Portland. Let's not forget about Portland. Those poor people. Yeah. So.
Oh God, yeah.
Are they really people at this point?
Yeah. What'd you say, bro? I didn't hear.
Are they really people anymore at this point?
Yeah. Seriously. Like, it's a ghost town out there. But I'm just saying, and Daryl is like, sorry to hear that, Scoop. It's all good, bro. The problem is a lot of the stuff that's going on, like what I've dealt with here, people that got to get lives, or maybe just, I don't know, invest more time in the life that they have. Because you want to sit here and fuck with me and get my attention for what? To what end? To make yourself, I don't know, go sit off in the corner and chuckle like some sort of a weirdo? I'm not interested in that shit. So, no, that's not the reason I ain't been on here. The main reason has been, again, I need to get a microphone, a camera, and a new computer because the one I had before crashed. Yeah, so that's why I haven't been on here. And yeah, I know that's a bit of a segue to go off of just from Ultimate Fury asking about saying he loves the mask. But yeah, new mask, whole new outfit, top to bottom, I'm putting together. And it should be cool. It should look good. Definitely look good.
Yeah, no, it's all good because ironically enough, our next segment was going to be about other developments and stuff. So I'll just cut out of this and then we'll go straight into that because I was gonna do the usual thing where we laugh at how long the handgun ban's in and how that's the most bloodiest time until 2016. And despite all of the Wayneton psychotic madness that's going on, we still don't have as high as a crime rate as we used to.
That is.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that you guys are still allowed to carry over there. It's not like it is here.
Oh, yeah, we have concealed carry. When the NRA came down and they said, you are violating the Second Amendment and you will pay us now, they said, okay, here's your money. Here's how your people can get their rights. We're going to give it to them, and that's the compromise. And so far, with all the damage, I don't know if this includes the looting, because some of those people were screwed because they didn't have insurance, but people like Tesla and Gucci, they had the insurance for this, as well as some of the stores that were on the Magnificent Mile. But we're looking at $127,321,200 in damage.
Damn. That's a lot. That's a lot.
That is a lot of money, and we are losing a lot of people. I don't know if we lost over a couple thousand, but I mean, the last time we had a massive spike in crime about 2 years ago, we lost almost like 250,000 people in Chi-Town proper, and they just got the hell out of here and went to the suburbs of Indiana. They got the flight just so crazy, they actually started putting in y'all Illinois signs to promote people to potentially move into Indiana.
You know, it's kind of funny. I've actually noticed people, like, I don't know if they're doing it by you. We have a really bad exodus going on over here.
Oh, yeah.
I've actually seen people when they were leaving. It's fucking wild. Like, I was driving on the highway last week, and I got in between two cars, and one car on each side of me, excuse me, not cars, two pickups, and one pickup on each side of me, they're towing one of those big-ass campers behind them. And I could tell by looking at these guys, they looked like they were both cops, like, and they were off duty. I'm guessing I'm going to go out on a limb there. Might have been unrelated, but the same scenario for both of these gentlemen. I'm guessing that they said, fuck it. They cashed out, took their pension, packed everything in the trailer, and they probably are either selling their houses or renting it, and they're getting the fuck out of the state while they can. But I've been seeing a lot of that, a lot of exoduses. For sale signs everywhere. Everywhere. Holy shit, is it scary. So... let me see, Daryl Levin, when you going to be back on, Scooby? Well, Daryl, I tell you what, and since Mandi is here too, she can help me with this. Tara was supposed to do a hangout with me off air, and me and her were supposed to go over some things on this computer, so I can get it set up so I can start doing stuff with the software and get ripping the videos off of my GoPro that I have, because I'm not tech savvy. So as soon as I get the system set up, I've actually had the computer here since the beginning of March. I just literally have not had time to set it up. That's right around when all hell broke loose with COVID. And Burnside's seen it. I actually go out head to toe in a fucking Tyvek suit with the gloves and the boots and the mask and the goggles and the fucking the thing that goes over my face, the spray guard.
I want to see this.
All right, I'm not going to go get it now. I'll wake up the whole house. I'll try to make it a point to show it to you. But yeah, no, it's basically like when it was really bad, when it first broke around here. Yeah, I was wearing that shit out to the stores constantly. I still spray my boots and, the tip of the cane when I come in and out the house to make sure that everything's clean. I spray them with Lysol. I'm not taking chances. My sister got COVID. So... when I hear people saying it's fake, it's this, no, that shit's legit. My sister got it.
The virus is real. It's just not as bad as they say.
She got it bad, and it was bad here, and it hit us bad. And the thing of it is, though, I've said this before, and this is something no one wants to talk about, and I'm just going to lay it out on the line. The Chinese people are known. Let me back that up. The Chinese Communist Party is known specifically for being very outspoken. They don't like people of color. That's something that they're very well known in China for. If you want to see something to back this up, there's actually something that's really popular in China. Burnside could actually make a fortune doing this in China. What he could do is move to China,
selling opium.
Buy a three-piece suit, and get himself a portfolio made up of headshots like a male model. And what this is, you ready for this, Burnside? You're going to love this. Chinese businessmen will hire him to go with them to business meetings. And people will say to the Chinese guy, who's the American? Oh, this is the big American investor that's interested in putting money in. He doesn't speak any Chinese, though, so I do all the translating. And they literally hire you to sit there and look like an American investor to make them look more important. It's a really big racket over in China. If you're an American or a Brit, it doesn't really matter, but you have to basically, have the look like you. You got to have the blonde hair, the blue eyes, and the Chinese eat it up. I'm being dead serious. It's a big thing there. You have to. They say if you want to make a big splash in Chinese business, hire a white guy for the day.
Oh, good Lord, that's hysterical. That's so hysterical.
Yeah. Daryl was asking if I'm going to be.
I had this thing up long enough.
Yeah. Daryl was asking if I'm going to be. Daryl was asking if I was going to be on your channel again. I usually only stream with Burnside and a few other people. If he ain't streaming, I'm not usually on. I had my own stream, but unfortunately, that stream it was getting more views than some of the more popular streams of people with hundreds, if not thousands, of subscribers. So they went out of their way to try to crush the stream. So I haven't been streaming as much. I didn't have the computer. And now this is the thing, Daryl, people had no problem streaming with me, but then they started getting threats. So I had to pretty much shelve the stream for a little while. Burnside doesn't give a fuck. Like they could come to Burnside's house and he'll blow their head off. So, yeah, he's not too worried. I don't exactly. Yeah.
I got
But
this
in a
one too,
nutshell.
but I have no idea what it goes.
Yeah. Slappy, get right. Maybe just nobody cares. Well, I don't know. If you look at this chat for the past 2 hours, Slappy, apparently people care.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's
And he
that.
cares enough to respond.
Yeah. I'm just Daryl's actually one of Burnside's fans, so I'm just giving the kid a little bit of information and at the same time throwing shade to be a prick.
Mm-hmm.
Two birds with one stone.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I was trying to talk to Daryl, and he was hearing us stream, but he kept trying to talk, but his mic wasn't working. So I was like, "Can't have the guy on if he's like not going to be able to talk," you know?
Yeah. It would be, well, he's got to go get a new mic. I'm gonna send the listing for this off of not eBay, Amazon to Burnside. I think I paid $25 for this mic. It works pretty good from what I can tell.
All right, and Fury, I just gave you a wrench as well, so you should be golden.
Geisha, who crushed it? She asks me. YouTube. No, Geisha. What happened was I pissed off a bald midget that is a uncanny resemblance to Lexington from Disney's Gargoyles. If you go Google Disney's Gargoyles in Lexington, you're going to see this is what the guy looks like who had a nervous breakdown because, I don't know, I didn't kiss his ass enough or something. I forget what I did at this point. I didn't earn enough good boy points with the right people. So apparently, Geisha, I pissed off the septic community on here, or the junior septic community, the septic fan club. I don't know who the fuck these people are. I do politics. I don't do drama. So
politics is drama.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some degree,
I guess.
not the degree that they're going for. It's like we're talking about actual politics, not Trump made bad tweets, the Orange Man bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I literally pissed off people on here for no other reason than not knowing a lot about like this YouTube community and this Twitter community. Like because I wasn't in the know, people took it personal. Like they name dropped to me, and I'm like, I don't know who the fuck that is, and so they took it personal. I'm a 41-year-old man. You know, I'm not like a kid in college anymore. I'm on here because I'm concerned about what's happening by my home. I'm worried about the city that I live in the shadow of. Burnside's worried because his city is falling into hell in a handbasket. Mandy's here because she's worried about the country. God, you're here because this is your nation. You know?
Well, my world, but still.
Well, this specifically is your nation. You know, if hey, the Earth needs a capital, fine. This is the capital nation. There you go.
It used to be Rome.
Yeah, we're like Rome, except we got better hygiene. We got toilet paper instead of a stick with a rag.
Oh, great. You put cloth on a stick instead.
Yeah.
Well, aside from Scoob's masks, there are a couple other projects that we're going to get into.
Yeah.
The one thing that I will be doing, I will grab my other hat real quick here for that one, because I got a bounce between that one and the Swiss one.
If you want to know what being God feels like, even for just a few moments, if you snort 4 kilos of caffeine, powdered caffeine, you will know what it feels like.
I think I'd be dead before I got through the first kilo. Not as young as I used to be. That sounds like some wild shit. Like when I was in high school, a couple of guys I know, they actually went to 7-Eleven and stole the coffee pots when they actually had the big tin coffee pots that they used to have. Yeah. And these idiots were doing keg stands with coffee.
Oh my God, I would do that.
I'm sure you would.
I mean, every day I have at least 6 or 7 5-hour energy shots, extra strength. Not to
God,
mention Bang energy drinks and Monsters and Red Bulls.
I like Bang. Bang is good. God, what I do is I get 2 different types of
You just
dark
like to
roast.
get banged.
I get 3 different types of darkest night fucking coffee. 2 of them are specialized Folgers that add flavor, and the third one is basically cappuccino but dark roast. And I mix it all together, and I just toss in scoops and scoops of this shit. And it's basically this would annihilate paint from a wall.
I asked them why they were doing that with the cake stand with the coffee. I'll never forget it. The guy I was talking to, I think I told you about him. He was a friend of mine, and this is the guy. He lost his mind because he started taking all the different shit that you were supposed to use as like ingredients and spells, and he started he started smoking them. So,
oh god,
yeah, he started throwing like spell ingredients in blunts. So this guy, I'd go to talk to him, and he's like this the whole time I'm talking to him. His eyes are completely huge because he's all strung out on this shit. But he was the one who had done the thing with the coffee. And he's telling me in high school, he's like, yeah, we're doing cake stands for coffee. And I asked him, I go, how did that work out for you? He goes, oh, bro, it's great. He's like, you feel like you're coked out of your mind. He's like, but then he's like, oh my God, it's the most unholy thing. You shit your brains out. He's like, you're praying that, it just ends. I go, is it that bad, huh? He goes, let me put it to you this way. I took off my shoes. I had no socks on. I had no idea where they went. Oh, man. Bro, I haven't thought about that story in like over 20-something years. That's the crazy shit that these idiots used to do. They'd go and like steal a coffee and do cake stands with it.
Oh, that's wild.
We still hung out with them.
I went to a special high school. It was like for juvenile delinquents. These were the guys that were in my class. The whole class that I was in, I think there was maybe for the entire grade, there was maybe 30 people, if that. So I hung out with them because our school hours were different than the regular high school. The way that they had it set up, and it was actually really stupid, is the kids who were like 11th and 12th grade would go in at 7 a.m. and they get out at like 10, 11 in the morning. And what it was, if you were like 9th and 10th grade, you go in at like 10 a.m. and you get out at 1. And regular high school went from 7 a.m. till 2 p.m. So what the seniors would do is the juniors and seniors, they get out of school and they'd hop on to the Southern State and they'd take it over to 495 and they'd go up over into Bushwick and they'd go cop Angel Dust and they'd go cop Reefer and then they'd come back and they'd sell it to the younger kids when they were getting out later. So because from here to Bushwick and back, maybe an hour. So these guys would go cop and then they'd come back and they'd flip it and they'd sell it to all the younger kids. And then the younger kids would turn around because they got out an hour before the regular high school. So they were all up at the high school and they were all selling the shit through the doors to the kids that they would let them in at the regular high school. So, yeah, I really didn't have much of an option of who else to hang out with because I was in the juvie high school. I was either hang out with the juvie kids or not have any friends because the regular kids, I wasn't allowed in their houses.
Why not?
I was bad news.
You just had to punch that one kid.
One? Nah, I did that a lot, actually. I nearly got arrested a few times for assault when I was younger.
Almost is never enough.
Yeah. No, it was a bad high school when I was in there. I told Burnside about it. The junior high before I went into the high school, one of the kids actually stabbed me with a homemade shank. And in high school, yeah. What happened, Burnside?
I said, yeah, that doesn't sound like fun.
No, it wasn't.
That's an opinion.
Yeah, when I was in high school, because I went to that juvie school, I was probably the only person in that school that didn't have some form of like a sidearm. Like, I mean, I remember I'm sitting in class.
You had 2 guns.
No, I had nothing.
No, I meant your arms, man.
Oh yeah, there's that. But Well, that's nothing against, like, I mean, the one guy, he's sitting there and he's got a fucking Smith & Wesson on him, a 45. The fuck am I going to do against a 45? Nothing.
Not much.
Nah. And this is before they changed all the laws and everything. This is when you could get caught with a gun and the cop would yell at you and take it away. And that would be the end of it. That was literally the worst thing that would happen. The cop would sit there and he'd wag his finger at you and scold you and take the gun away and call your parents. Then they changed the laws. And it sucks.
Now they'll shoot the cop.
Yeah. Well, this, believe it or not, me talking about all this is related to other crazy projects that are in the works, which is what the title of this section is. Burnside and I were talking, and one of the things I wanted to start doing, for those people who are unaware, I personally right now am without a vehicle. My wife has the lease. I drive all over creation with her with that thing, but it's a lease. I can't use it for my own ends. That having been said, the president is supposed to be sending us a stimulus check again. I'm going to try to use that as a down payment.
It's an early tax vacation thing.
Whatever, as long as I get some bread. I'm going to try to grab the down payment on this car I was telling Burnside about. It's a little Ford Fiesta. They're great for parking around here. They're great on gas mileage. Also, I hate saying this, when I get out of a clown car like that, I have one on the side of the house. I got to get it fixed. But there is nothing more funny because I get the windows tinted on the car. I can get them tinted because my mother is medical and I take care of my mother. So, the windows can be tinted legally here. But I've gotten into altercations with people and they pull up next to the car, and they get out and they slam the door. Get the fuck out of the car. And it's great because, it's this little car. So I have to get out. So I have to throw one leg out and then step out of the car. And it's great because, they're looking at me like this when I get out the car because it's this tiny little car. Yeah. And then I get out and
it's a big motherfucker.
Yeah. Bro, I'm sorry that he passed away, Burnside. I would have loved for you to meet Bane. If you would have met Bane,
yeah,
he was huge. I've talked about Bane once or twice on the air. This is my friend. I believe he had to be at least 7'8", and yeah, he was a monster. And I've showed pictures of him to people. He's the biggest human being you're ever gonna see. Not just height wise.
Break your back like Batman.
I'm showing my age. There was these movies back when I was a kid called Police Academy. And one of the characters' names in the movie was Hightower. He was this cop played by Bubba Smith. Bubba Smith, Chicago Bears, if I'm not mistaken. So Bubba was a big man. And what they did for the movie in Police Academy, he couldn't fit in the car. So they had to remove the front seat. And Bubba had to sit in the back seat of the car to fit in it, which I thought was hysterical. I had to do that with Bane in my car. I literally used to have to fold the front seat into the back, and he would just sit there with his feet touching my dash all the way in the back seat, sprawled in the car when we would drive somewhere. And I remember once we pulled up somewhere, and it was great because we pull up and I get out the car and then Bane gets out the car. And for him to get out, he had to throw his hand on top of the roof and he had to pull himself up and out of the car. And he throws his leg out and he gets out of this car. And it was this, I had a Chevy Cavalier. And so he gets out of this Cavalier, and this old woman is walking past, and she looks over, and I'll never forget, a little old lady with glasses and curly hair. She looks over, and she's like, holy fucking shit. Because of how big he was getting out of this fucking rinky-dink clown car. That all having been said. That all having been said, Bane, may you rest in peace. He's a good man. He was. I am putting that car back on the road, and I had told Burnside I'm going to be going to different venues around my state, specifically downstate. I'm really not going to go upstate for anything except for Albany to go bother the governor. And I have a shtick that I'm going to be doing obviously I'm going to be wearing this outfit, but I'm going to be doing a little bit something else. And it's going to be good. I'm going to be going and confronting with my press pass the right way with a microphone and a camera. I'm going to be confronting different politicians, lawmakers, even local celebrities. And there's a few other segments and different things I'm working on right now. I'm going to try to keep, bless you, Mandi. I'm going to try to keep them wrapped up until I have it set in stone, only because I'm lacking in funds and technology right now. I don't want to say I'm going to do something and somebody's watching this who doesn't like me and turns around and does the same exact thing just to steal the idea. So I'm going to try to keep it under wraps until I can give a few more details. But that's everything I got working on right now.
Yeah.
All right. The few things that I've got in the works, one of them I actually did want to tell Fury about because he digs this hat too. He thankfully loves the hats we're wearing. I mentioned this before to Lawrence and some of the guys because last time I was talking to Bobby, I was asking him about his tailor because he's gone to a tailor that actually makes some of these replica hats that we have that we wear
oh, nice.
in the Chronicle. So what I'm going to wind up doing is I'm actually going to go to his tailor with some fabric, and I'm going to see if we can actually get custom ones of these made in the same style for different factions that we have in Backline. And if they come out good enough, the one thing I want to do is I want to actually make a variation of this as my own custom MAGA hat. Like on the red part here,
Nice.
what I want to do is I want to actually put both the campaign slogans for 2016 and 2020. And then on the black side here, what I want to do is I want to actually put the blue stripe through for the Indiana back to blue flag.
Nice. That's going to look sharp.
Yeah, and then I'm probably going to have the same buttons here or different buttons that are similar. And since I've been wearing this one forever, I probably just won't put the tassel on. I'll just put the pins on there and have the I'll probably have about like that of the red side of the hat ruffle that will have the Trump slogans on.
It's going to look sharp, by the way.
Oh, hell yeah. Definitely. And that's the one thing I want to do is I want to look sharp as hell. I'm going to get the trench coat and then a couple other things, and that'll be my new get up. And that's essentially what we're going to be doing is we're going to try and make a whole bunch of hats like this one that have faction-based symbols, kind of like the one we have here with Harrison cap back. So not only do we look sharper on set, but in the off case the fans or anyone else wants one, we can make one for them. And in the off case we can get more advanced than these, then we'll upgrade to these winter style Garrison hats. It'll be crazier shit. It'll be all sorts of fun. A couple bucks, maybe make all these for people, fucking sign them and do all sorts of goofball crazy stuff, and that have fun with it. And that's the one thing I've really got going in the works. There are a couple other potential side projects in that. Although I'm going to have to talk to a couple people and see how things are going with that. But the only other thing I have is this is going to be a project that's going to probably kick off next year. But the cool thing is between what I've learned from the Apocalypse Merchant and what I've picked up from watching Brandon Herrera, also known as the AK guy. Herrera, however the fuck you pronounce his last name, whatever. Brandon, the AK guy. I actually got the idea to kind of follow in his steps in a little bit. And what I'm going to wind up doing is, because I noticed when you go on YouTube and you actually try and look up different gun laws and films about gun laws in certain areas, they're fucking gone. There used to be all sorts of little people that were doing this is our local law for guns. This is how you can get around this. They're basically doing just a 101 on all sorts of different topics related, to firearms.
YouTube's been purging them.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something similar to what Brandon's doing because he apparently has it right. His formula is working. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the logo is going to be the Chicago flag, except the two blue bars are it's basically this is how I'm going to have it. On the blue bar, I'm going to have Chicago in white. And then instead of the 4 red stars, I'm going to have the words legal in red font, just like how we have the red stars for the Chicago flag. And then in the bottom blue bar, I'm going to have in the same white font, Kalashnikov. And I'm going to try and start like, the Chicago Legal Kalashnikov project, and where I'm basically, okay, this is how you legally, go about getting the rifle, pistol, so on and so forth, Kalashnikov frame weapon. I am already shooting one as is, so I may as well. And if I film it in Indiana, or if I can get a couple people from the 4th District or other police officers to help me out with this, I can figure out a legal way how to go about this so that I don't accidentally commit a felony, because that's why I, yes, I know, God, I mentioned these. But, that's why I only, when I'm streaming, I only show the prop gun. Even with the one video I did, same thing.
Well, you're better off. I'm pretty sure it's not legal to show like an actual gun unless. Oh fuck! I don't know the stipulations. That's why you got to hit up Garant Thumb and ask him.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm gonna do. Is I'm gonna see how this. That's why that's the only thing I really have for now is a design and a direction. Other than that, I'm basically gonna have to go to the 4th District Police Station or ask some other cops and go, okay, I want to do this. Can you help me out? How do I legally go about this? And hey, we'll see how that goes. But I don't know. That's about it. Anyone else got anything else before we end it up?
Well, not particularly, but I do have wise words of wisdom for you all.
All right.
All right. By all means.
Well, Nebraska, you probably want to go there.
I like corn.
Oh yeah.
I could.
Well, more for the fact of what's coming here soon is going to be a bit crazy, and that'll avoid the brunt of it.
Ooh, very interesting.
So before we get off of here, basically all I want to say is keep the southern area, like from Florida over towards Texas, all that little area, keep them in your thoughts because there's 2 hurricanes coming, and if they collide, they'll merge and make one big ass hurricane.
Well, of course,
Gulf
they're
Coast
on my
or
mind.
Atlantic?
Who do you think sent them?
I don't want to go. I enjoy my hurricane parties. I don't want to be taken away by a hurricane.
Yeah, and I hear you, but I'm just curious now. Gulf Coast or Atlantic?
Well, don't worry. You guys did pray away a hurricane once.
Yeah, true.
Which hurricane?
Yes.
That's a good question.
As for me,
so one of them's supposed to be hitting. They're parallel right now. One's supposed to be hitting Houston, and the other one's supposed to curve around and hit Florida, which is supposed to hit where me and Tara are.
yeah.
Uh-oh.
And if they anywhere near merge together or get anywhere close to each other, like they're saying they're supposed to,
With our power combined,
they'll merge and they'll become one big ass hurricane, and they'll take out all the states
Oof.
down here probably.
Ooh, damn.
trials and tribulations, my children. Trials and tribulation.
Oh yeah.
Well, as for me, I got nothing to add other than more content will be coming soon. I put up 2 videos yesterday and today. Go check them out. Apparently, there's a lot more nature around here than I had planned on finding. I went to the park 2 days in a row walking the dog. First day I go there, I find an alligator snapping turtle hatchling. Second day I go there, I'm walking with my wife, and she's just
Yappy.
So I roll my eyes, and when I roll my eyes, I look over, and there's a fox. So if my wife wasn't in full nag mode, I would have missed the fox. So yeah, I put up there's a video today that I put up. I filmed it yesterday of a red fox just chilling, and it's funny because where the fox is, were I to turn around and look, you'd see the L train that goes into Manhattan. So it's just so wild. Like you're that close to like the city, and nature's right there. It's so cool.
Of course. Nature's beautiful. But it's also cruel. Because it doesn't care about what you hope or believe in.
Oh yeah,
Want.
nature's a total bitch sometimes.
Of course. Even with your little hopes and technology and science, all you do is circumvent it. You don't avoid it. It'll find you. It'll come back to you. It always does. Speaking of things like that, if you ever want any proof that God exists, the platypus.
Yeah, definitely.
But it also shows that I have a crippling addiction to alcohol.
Yeah.
That is hysterical. All right, yeah.
You know, God, there is one thing before we wrap up, Burnside. God, could you do me a favor? I have a stalker, and he's basically the guy is a clown, like an actual clown, the stalker. He's a bit of a sick bastard, and he's been stalking me out. He just shows up at places. I was hoping if you could basically curse him with inappropriate erections.
Why do you think he's been following you?
Burnside could probably illustrate it as much better than I can. You can read.
He gets those accidental erections because he sees you.
Yeah, no, the guy's in the chat right now. It's actually the sick weirdo that was jerking off looking at me. Like, he likes my eyes. And so now he's in the chat now. It's this clown. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the literal gang of degenerates that everybody but us seems to surrender to. I don't fucking get it.
Yeah.
I've been shot at and I don't surrender.
Well, I don't really surrender. If you've ever read the Book of Giants, which is among the Dead Sea Scrolls, I deemed all the other gods unworthy of existence.
Yeah.
I got to read that book now.
It's sounds like the old one.
Sounds like a good read. Yeah, seriously though, if you could definitely though, like, give this guy, strike him down with some inappropriate erections and chronic machine gun flatulence, I'll make sure to do like at least 10 rosaries a day for the next 10 years.
Well, you need to do better than that is forge up some custom-made Crusader armor and march on Istanbul.
Oh, we could always march on Istanbul. That's doable.
Yeah, definitely. That's fine with me. I always wanted to do the Crusader thing. Oh, you're twisting my arm here.
Oh, yeah. Comical other reason to have a German flag.
They were Roman.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, the only other thing I got going on is tomorrow we should be working on Chronicle 13, putting the project together, rendering it, doing all that shit. If anything, it'll be up between tomorrow and hopefully the rest of the weekend or next week, because usually YouTube likes to be a pain in the ass, and BitChute takes a day and a year to put it up regardless. So that and Bobby and I tend to lose shit, but that's really about it. We're going to wrap this up, and we're all going to get some sleep.
Yeah, and to answer Geisha's question, this is God here isn't a witch. This is the Lord your God. Seriously. If he really wants to talk to you, you're going to wake up in the morning to have coffee, and your bushes are going to be on fire, and he's going to be yelling at you through the bushes. So seriously, show some respect.
Yeah. I don't do that too often anymore, though. Kind of old-fashioned. Gotta be up with the times and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well,
plus, that bush also got Noah high.
All right. I think we're about ready to call it a night. I'm gonna hit the red button. Farewell, everybody.
Good night, chat, and Trippy, go fuck yourself.
I will join again whenever the next time y'all do this, as long as I'm not working.
All right.
Yeah.
Just let us know if you're working or not.
Geisha, I know you weren't picking on nobody. I was just screwing with you.
This time.
Yeah, we usually try and do this every Friday or Saturday night on the weekend. You know, it just depends if we have an off days, him being available and shit. You know.
Well, I mean, shoot, y'all were doing it around what 12 o'clock my time.
Roughly, we try and shoot
I
between
should be
9.
done by then.
I've got to ask you though. It doesn't Florida. I mean, I make this joke constantly, and Tara starts, like she wants to claw my eyes out. Don't you guys have your own time zone now?
I have no idea. I've lost all track of time since I started working.
Not yet. Just wait till the hurricane comes.
Like,
no one will be able to tell the time.
I legit sat there the other day and looked at my boss and said, "Hey, tomorrow's Friday. I'm off tomorrow." And they look at me. They're like, "No, Mandy. It's only Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. You have to work." I'm like, "Damn it."
That sucks.
When you talk to Tara next, you should say to her, "Yeah, I was talking to Scooby. We got our own time zone now. Isn't that great?" And watch her twitch.
I haven't really spoken to her. Like I said, the last time I spoke to her, we were all on Discord talking. She was supposed to add me on WhatsApp because I have it downloaded on my phone.
Nice.
All right. Well, I'm supposed to talk to her tomorrow. I'll tell her to give you a call.
I work tomorrow at 4, so it has to be before 4. I get to go boss people around who think they're better than me.
Oh. That's what old women do.
So, just really quick before you end it, Burnside, the clown in the chat is telling me to dare him to stalk me. No. Go suck a railroad spike. I'm not interested. Fuck off.
That's his fetish.
God, we have you on a regular, man. Holy shit, you're amazing.
Of course I am.
You must have blinked a certain way for him to have this obsession with you. I mean, damn.
Yeah, he just likes what he sees, I guess.
Which
is gotta get out more.
Which the only thing he sees is your eyes. Does he have a fetish for eyes? I honestly see him as one of those sociopaths that goes and
could be.
people and just like.
Hey,
remember,
if you're creative enough, eye sockets are holes too.
Oh, good God. And on that note, good night.
He did it again.